Chapter 6. Now, why don't you go without me? Studying some suckers anyway. Where do you think you're going? Hey, man, Mike's studying. I don't want to bother him. Yeah, well, you get back in there and finish, man. Well, see, in this house, people study when they're supposed to. Good thing I'm not a member of this house. Well, you are. What's that supposed to mean? Have you heard of the extended family? Well, this weekend you part one. Gives me the right to extend this belt to your behind. Oh, I'd like to see that. Well, you would, huh? Well, anything oblige you guess. Come on in here. Oh, you must be crazy. I don't believe it. I'm going to make a believer out of you. Huh? Hey, no, you know the boy got it. Come on, get your behind. I hope your father doesn't go overboard.
Mama, you think Daddy really gonna give Eddie a spanking?
Here's a bean green. Can James Brown get down?
Is your head dead?
We're practicing the fair use act. We're practicing the fair use act. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Mhm. Welcome, this is We-On-Loc Nation coming to you live. I played that clip for What Up, Young? I played that clip simply because I wanted to talk a little bit before I get into my rant of the day about fatherhood and how the James Evans effect is pretty much missed, and I think it's something that real men, need to get back to in order for our for our species to survive. We need to get back to the James Evans of ass whoopings. I miss first and foremost um, to the Almost family. Uh, John Almost will be missed. John Almost, to me, I mean, great actor. Uh, everybody at that time wanted him as a father figure, and then there were kids who were terrified of him because he, in my opinion, extended results. Not just a hardworking father, but a hardworking husband. And Good Times to me resembles, as well as the Cosby Show, resembles a semblance of balance that I am pretty sure that if warranted, if it were practiced today, that type of family structure were practiced today. I believe our communities, excuse me, will be well off. That's just my opinion. That's just how I stated. I will miss John Almost. He's been in several different other movies. One I just seen with Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier, another prodigy that will be missed. Um, Let's Do It Again, and then of course he's been in Ricochet. He's been in Coming to America. He's been in all types of movies. Right? Um, it's a joy to see when you see it over and over and over again because he's produced memories that us in our minds we would have been like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. I want to be. I want to be just like James Evans in Good Times. I mean, not the. I mean, not the bro. I mean, you take what you ask for. I mean, he wasn't broke, but he was struggling job to job. I mean, lived, but still lived as good as anybody else in the hood, in the ghetto, right? Loving father, caring father. Uh, that was the whole point. And and a lot of these spaces don't, in my opinion, don't resemble or speak enough to that. Um, don't speak enough of the James Evans effect and how it would affect the community. When I say the James Evans effect is, loving father, loving husband, whoop ass when he needed to. Like these kids today can't take an ass whooping. If you can record some of that shit stuff, which I don't understand why they record that shit online, but that's something that should be personal. That's something that should be personal to you and your home, but people ended up embarrassing themselves. So, but I truly miss, like I said, I will truly miss John almost. I mean, live well, there well. He's been here for a lot of years, and he will be missed. He will be missed. I just wish that in these particular spaces who are weirded out, could talk more about things like this. Because obviously you get pretty much I don't know what's going on in these spaces anymore. I really don't. But let me transition to something that I should have done yesterday from the very beginning. Brother Umar, I didn't think this would come true, but him and Darnell Roland, whatever his name is, I'm rich, bitch, had a little discussion, a little debate. Now, Darnell has spoken of Umar in his commentary. I wonder what this shit is about. It's probably because of the snow bunny effect. We're gonna get into the whole chaotic truth thing in a little bit. I wanted to soak this all in because chaotic truth can't get out of his own damn way. It's bad enough, right? It's bad enough that you are a hypocrite. One, you talk down to yourself, meaning when you talk shit about black people and how they should do this and how they should do that, you blackity this, you blacks this, you blacks that. I mean, you N-word this and you N-word. I was like, you really are trying to get money, my dude. And this is the best way you know how. Because they wouldn't pay attention to you otherwise. This is the best way you know how, is to act coonish in front of your people. Get your money, my guy. Get your money, man. Because I was naive to thinking that you were serious. You are dead serious. I was that naive to thinking that you were pretending to be something that you're not. But quite frankly, you are that guy. Wow. We'll get into it. We'll definitely get into it. And surprisingly enough, with that, but you want to challenge a guy who is well established in his own right and attacking a group in FBA? Really? Okay. Got you. But let's preview this, shall we? What's going on with this? Fair use.
Imagine if ChatGPT and Canva had a baby. That's ad creative.
I don't care.
And just admit you hate your press, right? Well, we all been through that in our life, and we didn't all go over to the Snow Bunny Brigade.
Stop saying
so stop making excuses and just admit you hate yourself and you hate your blackness, and that's why you date outside your race.
Don't do this to me, oh, please. Don't do this. What about the white women that just wanna worship
No,
you?
sir.
What about
If the white woman just wants to be charitable, tell her to go fight against the mass incarceration system that's taking our fathers from our families. Tell her to go fight against the miseducation system that's turning black youth into a permanent underclass. Tell her to go fight for our share of America's wealth.
They don't gotta do all of that. They don't gotta do all of that. What about a hawk too? Just a hawk too.
What about? Is there a world where?
Wait.
Is there a world where like there could be like almost like a
Alex,
an oil
we just
card?
Want a hawk too, man.
Where like I could date a black woman so Donnell could date a white woman if he wants to.
No, sir. You cannot date a black woman.
Why can't I date a black woman?
Maybe in some distant point in the future,
Yes.
when African people are returned to our ancient and original glory as the custodians of this planet, we might allow some temporary bunny hopping.
Yes,
But
yes,
right now,
yes,
we are being marked for
Mate, I wish these Negroes would answer my questions. What is so special about being with a white woman? What is so special? That is crazy to me that you would cut off your right arm just to be with a white woman. I just don't get it. But this is what it's come down. It's come down to many years. And as a black man myself, I was with a white woman before. It didn't work out for me. And I know why. I know why. Because we have nothing in common. We love each other. Bullshit. Love works in mysterious ways.
in global. There's absolutely to be no intermixing romance.
Let's work on that list, Alex.
Integrate the banks, integrate the wealth, integrate the political power, integrate the land. The last thing to be integrated is the bedroom.
God
Do you mind if I ask you a question, Dr. Umar?
Come on, white girl.
No, well, it's a scenario.
She's a white girl, Umar. She's
You
white.
can tell.
How many members of the Wu-Tang Clan are there, Dr. Umar?
No, go ahead. What's
Let
your
me
question?
see. Method Man.
Really?
All Dirty Bastard, RZA, Jizza, Raekwon, Ghostface, Master Killer. I know I'm missing something.
Inspector Deck.
Bunny Hopper. Bunny Hopper. It's got to be a Bunny Hopper. Katie, what was your question?
Okay, so it's kind of a scenario.
Who's a Bunny Hopper?
No. What? Me?
What?
One of the Wu-Tang?
No. I just threw it out there. You made me nervous.
Okay, so I feel like I've seen a little bit about your stance on like the LGBTQ community. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious about this very like specific scenario. If a black trans woman and a black trans man got married and
that's confusing.
And were able to like have kids, like do you still think that's like, even though like they're still like procreating and making like continuing, like that
is the most oddest, most weirdest question. But in times like in times like these, I guess it's prevalent, but I wouldn't answer no bullshit like that. I can't answer. I wouldn't answer that if I were. But he's a grown man. He definitely wants to do. Young RZA, what's going on? Good morning to you. Good morning to you, fam.
Is part of your brain still like
my
that's
first
wrong
question
to me, or...
would be, sorry for cutting you off. My first question
I cut her off all
to
the
the
time.
artificial man and the artificial woman, because there's no such thing as a trans man. You're either a man or you're a woman, right? So that's an artificial
Somebody
woman
gonna
and
argue
an
with you.
artificial man.
They're going to argue with you. Go ahead.
If they're going to procreate and have children, if two trans people are going to procreate and have children, why didn't you just do that in your natural God-given gender identity? I don't understand the purpose of living artificially as the opposite gender and still coming back to an opposite gender to have children. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not quite sure I have the answer to that.
But like, if you had to live in the hypothetical, would that still be okay by you?
No, because
Really?
first of all, I want to be clear. I do not advocate hurt or harm to any human being on the planet. Race, gender, sexual identity. I may disagree with the lifestyle, that in no way should be misinterpreted to believe that I wish harm against anyone. I'm going to be very clear about that, because as a therapist, I have done work with homosexual males, lesbian women, transgenders, and I know the early life trauma that is often the catalyst for these types of psychological ills, and I would never want to poke fun at them. So I want to be very clear about that, especially with gay Black men who have one of the highest rates in the country. I would never want to disparage them, but I would still make it clear that I do not agree with this lifestyle at all. And the reason it's being pushed so heavily on Black children, and it was started by President Barack Obama on this level. We've already.
I don't know why you're. I don't know why you're wasting. Well, this is something I wouldn't waste my time answering, because all of it is abnormal. Trans men having sex with a trans woman. Come on, all of that shit is abnormal. I'm gonna say it, and you get offended. You get offended. It is abnormal. It's bad enough that you got gay men. It's bad enough that you got dudes out here performing as women. That's bad enough. But now we want to. What? I guess we don't give a damn about our children. I guess we don't. I know society as a whole, society, we don't give two good damns about our children. When the state or the government seeks to have had a personal effect, not a personal effect, a personal state on men marrying men, that's a problem for me. Because it's like a manipulation tactic, and especially for those who aren't educated enough or those who are not aware. Most of them are children. Children, you're asking a child to go over in books and in other things the type of shit that doesn't need to be studied. How the hell are you 5, 6, or I should say 5th through 12th grade, and you're 5th grade through 12th grade, and you want these people to understand how sex works? That is the most craziest shit I have ever heard. And not just heterosexual sex, but homosexual sex. Now, transit sex, like that, you shouldn't be learning that at that age. You shouldn't be learning it at that age. But yet, the propaganda is to go ahead and push the narrative. And this is the reason why we need our own schools.
Always had homosexuality and lesbianism. But on this level, Barack Obama is the father of that. And they've even went so far as to go into Africa and threaten African countries with the withholding of necessary foreign aid if you don't make gay marriage legal. Why are they so interested about gay marriage in Africa? Because they want to control the population of African people. And if we can convince the boys to only be romantic with other boys, and if we can convince Black girls to only be romantic with Black girls, we can reduce the birth rate of African people. LGBTQism is a population strategy by the white power structure against African people.
Do you believe Dr. Sinclair's accusation against Barack Obama?
What is that accusation?
That he
man, why you keep on bringing this stupid shit up, man? He keep on bringing this stupid.
Umar's not a fan of Obama, so maybe he'll actually have something to say.
I'm not a fan of Obama because he didn't do anything for Black people except confuse our kids in public school. Here's the question.
Omar, can I say this?
Listen, whether you support LGBTQ or not, here's the question. Do kindergartners and first graders In second grade, do they need instruction on LGBT? Why are you discussing of any kind with children who are not old enough to have? You don't start developing attraction for the opposite gender until
But
You're
men,
talking
as a man,
11,
as a man,
12.
as a man.
So why are you teaching 5 and 6 year olds about? It's because you.
Darnell, were you about to nigga-splain? Darnell was about to nigga-splain about this horrific shit. He was about to, no problem. He was about to explain about this nigga shit. Amazing.
You want to indoctrinate them. So by the time they are old enough to have, they'll do it the way you want them to do it.
All right, I want to say this. I want to go back to this is very important. I think if I got anything out there. So Dr. Umar, you're going on record to say that you're going to start issuing a bunny pass for a brother, right?
He said no. He said
no. He said no. I just said, how do you get these bunny passes?
What is a bunny pass? Because I'm not giving you permission.
No, you just
what
said
is a bunny pass?
A bunny pass. You said all of this checklist. If the white people do this, didn't you say you might let us slide a little bit? So it's official that you're going to start issuing out bunny passes.
Hell no.
Oh,
and
no.
even if we were going to have a bunny pass conversation, I don't see that happening before the next 100 years. It's going to take at least 100 years to
what about this
reverse
weekend?
all of the ills and issues that were created.
Can we deal with
black
Your
people.
grandson, your grandkids.
What about this
Darnell.
weekend? Just a pass for this weekend, man.
Your great grandchildren might be ready to have that conversation.
So what do I tell my black girlfriend though?
Do you really have a black girlfriend?
Yeah, I do.
So shocked.
Okay.
Does not
Do
believe
you want me to call?
It's a lie, but whatever.
It's disgusting. Umar, now that's
You
disgusting.
would tell her that Dr. Umar wants to know, and this is no disrespect to you at all as a human being, but Dr. Umar would like to know why she couldn't find a black man, and I would like to know from you why you couldn't find a white woman.
I didn't want to fight over a white woman, and I love her.
Why did you want the chocolate queen?
Oh, I can tell you why.
I mean, like, I've never felt so comfortable with a person in my life, and I feel like she gets.
Yeah. Never felt so comfortable with black pussy in your life. It's obviously you're so used to your own that you travel the distant world, travel many galaxies to find this one thing, the black woman, and her to the point where you can't go back. It's like, wow, what an experience. And once you have one, you gotta have another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. This is so fake, man. This is so fake to me. This is my opinion. This is so fake. I want to so bad ask Terry Crews, what do you see in your wife? And you know what he's probably gonna say? She loves me and respects me for who I am. So in high school, that's when you met. You couldn't find anybody in your coaching money. I want to say he's from Flint. He's from Flint. He is from Michigan. I want to ask him so bad, but I don't want him popping his pecs at me like, nigga, it ain't that serious. Your life is your life. I was just asking questions, my guy. Let's go.
Gets me and I get her. And like, and I feel like I've never felt like that supported in my life before, honestly.
And would you be honest enough to admit that although she might be the recipient of your love, that you do carry a disdain towards all of the members of her race?
I don't. I have zero disdain.
You don't like Barack at all.
I don't. No, the low-key thing is Barack Obama stole the logo of my company. And then I like went back and forth, and then I literally like his lawyer called me, and when he found out I voted for him, then just like stonewalled me for 6 months until he settled. And I feel a little bitter behind it, you know?
Barack Obama giving money to the white man.
You know, and like at the end of the day, like if he just changed his logo, I wouldn't have cared. And so I feel a little bit
always see with the white man always comes down to the money.
And then we brought a guy on the show who claimed that he had sex with Barack Obama and smoked with Barack Obama, and Donnell wouldn't hear.
I've heard the story.
Yeah.
Oh.
But if you want to speak to my black girlfriend, I'll call her right now.
No, it's okay. You know, she suffers a little bit of self-hatred.
Why do you think she suffers from self-hatred?
You have a little bit of master syndrome. That's why.
Master syndrome.
Omar.
I'm a Jew. What do you mean?
That doesn't mean anything. European Jews were some of the biggest participants in the transatlantic slave trade. Y'all built the ships and financed them as well.
That is literally like the kind of stuff.
That is absolutely the truth.
Not
Did you know the Secretary of War for the Confederacy?
Google it right now. You can Google that right now on your phone, and you'll see that's
he owned hundreds of slaves.
That's what happens when you deal with Umar. He's gonna bring the best out of everyone. I love him for that. Just come out with the truth, my nigga. Just come out with the truth. The truth shall set you free, and white folks hate the truth.
Yeah, but you're like, if you're looking at the whole slave trade as a whole, Jews were a tiny part of it compared to Muslims. And even if you look at the Arab world,
at the financing of the voyages, y'all were more than a small piece now.
You know, our page is about to get suppressed, right?
I
mean, and respectfully, here's my issue with the Jewish community.
Yeah, tell me.
As much as y'all hold the world accountable for turning their backs on your ancestors during the German Holocaust,
we're going to jail.
I don't see y'all showing as much energy and attention towards your role in the African Holocaust. And I consider that to be somewhat hypocritical, that the world should acknowledge the debt it owes you.
We can't do
but
this.
You don't have to acknowledge the debt you owe black.
You know how people got on Colin Kaepernick for wearing, first he had a Malcolm X hat on. Did he have a Malcolm X? Yeah, he had a Malcolm X hat on, and he had a Fidel Castro shirt. I was like, who the hell is Fidel Castro? So I ended up looking him up, right? And this man was really a freedom fighter. Thus, we call certain freedom fighters revolutionaries. He was a revolutionary in Cuba, right? Even though he wasn't a Cuban himself. But literally, he took his people to freedom. Now, those who disagreed with him or disrespected him, they got dealt with, even with his own people. But white people were like, "Oh, you represent a murderer, Fidel Castro." Well, like he murdered white Cubans, not black Cubans. Those who and most of the cats in the United States didn't respect his life and wanted him to go do what the United States wanted him to do. He said, "Freak you!" He said he's giving the middle finger. "Freak you! I refuse." So he ended up going to Cuba, and ever since then he had dominated. He even had meetings with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. So I see why. And he offered free education for those who wanted it. Free education for those who wanted it. And now it's like we can't even take certain Jews, specific Jews. I'm not in the whole Jewishism. I need to read that book when the black man meets the Jew, or the the distinct difference between the black man and the Jew. I got to read that book. But anyway, it's sure hypocrisy when certain particular Jews can't take criticism. It is crazy to me. Oh, let's continue.
Sit in this.
No,
This is great.
no, I don't
So
want to.
our role in the African Holocaust.
No, I can't do this.
Our
I'm
role
trying
in
to
the
get some
African
money on.
Holocaust.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do this. He trying to get.
Charles worried that he's gonna have to play Def Jam comedy tours till the end of time.
Yo, get me back on the screen. I don't want.
Can't see Donnell.
I'm not.
Where's he at?
Where am I? Where did I go?
He got me blocked
I
out.
can't.
There you go. There you go.
My page is about to be suppressed. The minute
No,
we
it's
say,
not. No.
Man, you've been in Instagram jail. You've been in
respectful conversation.
You've been in Instagram
and
jail.
I'll give you one more.
Okay.
There was a group of African soldiers during World War II who helped to liberate a lot of European Jews from some of the most aggressive concentration camps. And I don't see them honored in a single Holocaust museum in this country. And I really want to know why.
Can I help you with that, Dr. Umar? Because that would be a cool project to work on together.
Please.
Like,
yes, sir.
Like,
yes, sir.
Like Dr. Umar, what I would love to have is these kind of great conversations, but I do think that there's certain things that you're a business owner, I'm a business owner, Donnell's a business owner, and we have ways of creating cool microcosms where we can both lift each other up. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, but are you also acknowledging, though, because we can't be hypocritical, there is a white privilege that you are not interested in separating yourself from?
I am absolutely.
Can we agree that that is true?
No.
So you do not recognize the benefits you receive in this society.
Yeah, white man.
In contrast to black. You don't see that.
No, I do see it.
That is impossible.
No. You made two different points. You said do I want to adhere to it and keep the status quo, or do I see
are
it?
you conscious of it?
I'm conscious of it.
Are you aware that there are benefits that you receive intentionally or unintentionally because
you're white?
You are European.
Yes.
Yes, he keeps saying you're white.
You're white. Hold it.
Okay.
I don't think you're doing anything.
You haven't done anything to destroy it.
That's what I was about to say.
Yes, I am.
How do you destroy it?
Well, I know how you destroy it. You put like Shannon Sharp, you put the girl at the number 3 position, and you bang, 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 bang. That's how I heard you destroy it.
Oh, come on.
I do the work, so I get the rewards.
No, we can't go there. We cannot go there today. Shots out to Shannon Sharp, banging that white chick. Again, we don't. I bet you she put him on camera. She put him on blast. She put that man on blast. Shouts out to Shannon Sharp. All right. This is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to pay some bills. And then we're going to get into the heavy shit. Coming back in just about a minute or so. Don't go nowhere.
Get ready for the most glamorous event of the year, the U2B Streets Awards 2025, February 9, 2025, at Laban Midtown, located at 641 West 42nd Street, New York City. Join us at 12 p.m. for the pre-show red carpet extravaganza and a chance to win $500 in our fashion contest. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., enjoy the gold tier experience with speakeasy confessionals, press interviews, and premium cocktails. At 4 p.m., the platinum tier includes performances, a comedic host, an award ceremony, dinner, and gift bags. From 8 p.m., the diamond tier features a VIP after party with a DJ, aerial dance, fire performances, and gift bags. 24 YouTube categories. And many nominees. Can't attend in person? Stream the entire event live on Hush and Move Media via Uscreen for just $9.99. Get your early bird tickets before September 15, 2024. Visit now. Be a sponsor. Be extraordinary. Be there. Be great.
like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Before I go any further, I would like to give a shout out to Shish Trish. Shish Trish, if you are willing to go to the VMA Awards, the YouTube Awards, give her a contact. Go to her page, and she will provide you with further information. For those who can't make it, well, of course, you're gonna go ahead and you can preview the awards online, which is only $10. Which is only $10. But I believe the tickets are going to be a little bit cheaper around this time. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. But go ahead and get the information for her. All you got to do is go to Shish Trish, go to her channel, and get further information. Now, on to the most hideous, hypocritical man I have ever talked to online, even though he's somebody I keep close to the hip. And here's why. He is so goddamn contradicted, and he owes me his life. He owes me his life. I literally saved him from getting slaughtered on not Black Men Unfiltered. What line was that? Platinum Elite's live. I never let that go. I would never let that go. He knows it, and I know. He knows it, and I know it. And I wish I could have saved him from embarrassing himself on the Peef when he went on that tyrant. I mean, he just went off. He went completely off. But onward, this time around, I wasn't even paying attention. I wasn't even paying attention to the nuances of what was going on. But around this time, I had to look, and he was just on my feed, right? And I've seen him trying to challenge or saying that he would destroy Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed is the founder of FBA. He is quote unquote FBA. Why? I don't know. I guess he just needs, I guess he needs the notoriety. He needs to be that big head figure. I guess, I don't know. But of all people, why attack Tariq? Why? Why are you attacking someone who is beneath you? Or we're pretty much, he is beneath you. So, and would literally stomp on you if he had to. You really want that type of smoke? You really want that type of smoke, chaotic truth? Nigga, I'm talking to you. You really want that type of smoke with Tyreek of all people? I mean, people have tried and failed. I mean, if you really want that type of attention, my nigga, I think you need to go back to the Tommy Sotomayor days, or the Dan Hathaway. Oh, what is it? What is his name? Never mind, it's not important. But take a look at it. Take a look at his history of him roasting people. If he makes a video game out of you, you lost. If he makes a puppeteer out of you, you have lost. You can't roast nobody. You can't you can't debate anyone. You can't debate. You can't even if you did debate somebody, if you did challenge somebody, it wouldn't stick, because all you would say is, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. This nigga went on Izzy Band's, and Izzy Band's show. I mean, I go in and out of it, right? Izzy Band's cooked this nigga, and him saying that there are no black inventors, right? There are no black inventors. There are no black inventors. There are no black inventors. And Izzy Vance nearly schooled this boy on professional black professionals, American African professionals who had made specific things. We all know George Washington Carver, right? We all know Franny Lou Hamer. We all know these people, right? But there are many other people beyond the surfaces who have invented, like the helicopter. I even forgot. I had it on there and I erased it. Who invented the helicopter? Who invented the peanut? And he went on and on and on and on, and he proved and Googled all these specific things, these specific people for these specific things, and he basically just said it's not true. This is the same man that said that Harriet Tubman was not real, that she didn't free thousands and thousands of slaves. And I said, huh? I don't even want to believe what you're saying. But here's a little something, and I hope he's paying attention to this, because this is the most dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Fair use, presented the Fair Use Act. Fair use, fair fucking use.
They probably would. No. Bob, his audience, a lot of people in his audience actually have support the Republican Party, believe it or not. I gotta put you on mute real quick. It's like a little background noise. Give me a second, buddy. When he's saying that, individuals from other countries that came here, his audience believes that it was because of blacks. It was not. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was because of the 40th United States Congress. It was because of whoever drafted it up, which I didn't even look up. Thank that person. Thank the hundreds of thousands of white men who fought in the Civil War. Black Americans had nothing to do with it. Respectfully, I rock with everybody, man. But we have to be honest, Tariq. Here, I got somebody in the back, man. Here we go. Oh, he dropped off. Okay, he dropped off. He might come back. I don't know. Truck driver said, "Facts, CT. Facts. Let's get the likes up. Yes, let's get the likes up." Pop. Japri said, "Can you email it to me?" Okay. Are you talking about the video or the audio? You're banned in Discord. Oh, we gotta fix that. You shouldn't be banned.
You are free to express, and I'm talking to you, young. You are free to express however you want to express it on this here channel. I don't run for nothing. I don't shut people up who have an opinion about anything. I don't. If your perspective is your perspective, so you're free to say anything you want, my man. You're free to say anything you want. Don't be a plug and shut off. Be that light that forces people to tell their truths. I suggest, as a matter of fact, I demand you tell the truth. That's all we ask for.
Here goes this guy. His name is Dennis Taylor. Stop. Some people will do anything, and I mean anything, for attention and clout. Stop hanging on Tariq's nuts, shaking my damn head. My content is generally about politics. And
yeah, Tariq has a big following. And whenever you shout the brother out, there are people in Tariq's camp who will come see you. Well, not really, but virtually. They will definitely come to your page and they will give you a lashing. That's just how FBA goes. That's just how FBA goes.
Race. I've done 2 or 3 shows about Tariq, but sir, I have I think 600 shows in my catalog. Hell, 60 shows would be 10%. Wouldn't 30 be 5%? I've done less than 1%. Sir, I barely talk about Tariq. I don't have to call Chase, sir. I get views. I've gone viral on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers know me. O'Shea knows me. Big YouTubers.
Yeah, you've gone viral for the wrong reasons, but don't we all go viral for the wrong reasons? If I want to be known, I want to be known for something greater than this. This is beyond my level or comprehension of how to get quote unquote virally famous out there. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that attention. Just like they had. Well, let me stop ranting.
I would even argue that Candace knows me, I suspect a few years ago, I was getting some nice super cash apps. I suspect it was because I was doing a lot of shows with Candace in the title, and every time I did a show with Candace in the title, I would get, I don't want to say how much I was getting, but I was like, God damn, who is this person? I thought it was Candace.
I wanted to interview Princella. And I said to myself, well, Princella, the Queen Maker. I often said, well, she ain't gonna come over here. I'm too small. A couple of shows later, she ended up right in the center of what we were doing. And the next thing you know, we had a conversation, and the next thing you know, I'm talking with her and B. Taylor and everybody else. You never know. I mean, Candace, what are we interviewing Candace for? What is Candace known for doing? Cooning. That's what it is. Cooning. Just like this nigga here.
Could be. I don't know. Guys, get the likes up. Salute to you all. But I want you to
let's move forward. Let's see what's going on here.
There wasn't a wave of Caribbeans. There wasn't a wave of particularly West Africans coming here. We're not saying there was none, absolutely none. So you're kind of cherry picking a few people that came, but let's put it in context. Let's really weigh it out and look at the numbers. The numbers dictate that, yeah, there were a few that were able to slip in. Maybe
I don't know what happened.
whether they were dark or light. Hey, man, a Pookie is a Pookie. Ray is a Ray. I was getting some nice super cash apps. I suspect it was because I was doing a lot of shows with Candace in the title. And every time I did a show with Candace in the title, I would get, I don't want to say how much I was getting, but I was like, God damn, who is this person? I thought it was Candace. Could be. I don't know. Guys, get the likes up. Salute to you all. But I want you to really pay attention to this. Pay attention to what Tariq is saying. He's saying that if it wasn't for Black Americans, people like me, quote unquote, and other groups of people wouldn't be here. But that's not true. It's not true at all.
And I don't want to argue the point because I already know we've came through in various ways. One, some say that we were already here through the the Americans. American wasn't even American back then, but we came here through the Americans. We were already here. We came here through ships through the southern coast of Africa and came up through Brazil. And this is the reason why there's so many black people in Brazil to this very day. All right, two things can be right at the same time, but at this particular point, you have too many cult leaders and too many groups, right? And this is the reason why I say we're so separated. But you calling this dude out is going to get you, it's probably going to get you some views, but it's also going to get you in a world of trouble. But keep doing what you're doing. I like it.
Now, let's use the Civil War. The 54th Massachusetts Infantry, full of black men, a black regiment. I'm never gonna knock their heroism.
You mean those same people that were on the front lines to die for white people to live their life in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? That type of shit. You're talking about those particular black men who couldn't get no guns, who weren't allowed to have guns. You're talking about those, right? Who weren't even allowed to have a knife. We're talking about those, right?
Or them being heroes, but they were not integral to the Civil War. They were, don't get me wrong, they served their country. They died with incredible honor. But guys, a lot of these FBAs live in imagination land, to be honest with you. Because truth be told, had the Civil War would have been won without the 54th. I would argue that. But see, you can't argue this. You can't ask this question to Tariq and his followers because they look at that as blasphemy. How dare you talk about the 54th Massachusetts Infantry?
Have you had a conversation with Tariq about this? I mean, if you go on X, I'm sure that he will probably his lies are pretty much crowded. But if you get there on time and you shout him out, I'm sure he'll let you up and you can nigga-splain. You can nigga-splain your question, your situation, or whatever the case may be. You can literally ask him anything you want. Just come correct. That's all I'm saying.
I'll kill you when I see you, nigga. I'm telling you, these people, not Tariq per se, but a lot of these people are dangerous, bro. Dangerous. What's up?
He has some people with him. I mean, he ain't no killer like that, but he has people with him. Yes, he does. I mean, he's a film actor after all, and he does have a little bit of money in his pocket, so he knows how to hustle. He knows how to hustle. He knows how to out hustle your hustle. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Mary? Mary says, question, why are dark-skinned black men often the biggest coons in the black community? I actually think the brown paper bag test was valid because our grandparents understood this about dark-skinned people. Mary, you are entitled to your opinion. I would prefer if you called in. Mary, I would rather be a coon than a Pookie. I would rather be a coon than a Ray Ray. I would rather be a coon than one of these stupid Negroes carjacking and killing people in the streets.
Who carjacks anymore? Dude, come on. Who the hell carjacks anymore? with these specific cars, I mean, these electric cars, you can't carjack those. I mean, you can carjack, you can do old cars like this, but you can't. The technology will not allow you to do that unless you're willing to stick up people and grab their car keys and do it that way. But most people are packing now. Most people, you don't know who's packing what, from a knife to some mace to a taser to, you know, that Glock, you know, to a Drago. Brothers be stuffing Dragos in their pants leg. So you don't know who is packing what. Today's society is dangerous. I admit today's society is dangerous, but people want to protect themselves, especially with the Venezuelans here and them taking over apartments and whatnot.
Coons, hey man, coons aren't the problem in the black community. And you could be correct. Maybe a lot of coons are dark. Hey, I'm not knocking it. But the coons are the least of your problems in the black community. I could argue that. I don't see coons. When I was working in probation, man, when I was a probation officer, I didn't see coons in child support court. I did. I saw Pookies and Ray Rays. Hey, Pookie, come here. Now you know the judge told you to do A, B, and C, nigga. Now you didn't do that. I might have to hit that button and get your ass. See, I didn't have any Jesse Lee Petersons and and Officer Tatum's on my caseload. I did.
Yeah, you highly dick suck those two. You speaking of which, Jesse Lee, god dang, you know, why can't these knuckleheads do a one show, like a one show, one time appearance, so we can just go viral on this? It's just we can just do a collaboration with you, Jesse Lee Peterson and Officer Tatum. Just do appearances. And speaking of which, I mean, when it comes to coons, we have to definitely celebrate this, because this is a celebration. We definitely have to celebrate. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yes. We definitely have to celebrate coon, the coonism. Here we go. Yeah, we definitely have to celebrate some coonism. So, with that being said, and there's more to it than come, but we'll just go ahead and play this. Go ahead.
When I was teaching, I didn't have coons in the class. Coons weren't acting a fool in the class. It was Pookies and Ray Rays and Shaniquas. Just being honest, Mary.
But you would say you would have sex with a Sharika, right? And you just admit you're getting your money. Just get your money, Michael. Get your paper. Get your paper. Go celebrate with your Nigerian wife, saying that I am a successful man on YouTube. Go celebrate with her, and just get offline for a couple of weeks. Just do that. Get your paper, my nigga. Get your paper, because we don't believe you. We don't believe you. We don't believe in your savvy stories. We don't believe that you hate black folks, because if you hate black folks so much, then why are you on black shows? If you hate black folks so much, then why do you continuously, and it all depends on what show it is, why do you show up to black shows? Why do you show up on black panels? Why do they do that? Other than Sharon, who's I just put up, he's possibly the #1 coon on YouTube. But why do you show up on black shows? Those particular black shows that won't take your crap. Like you were on Izzy Brands and you disrespected Izzy Brands' channel, right? And you disrespected narratives and you called him a nigga and a nigger, excuse me. You called him a nigger and you called him a monkey. Interesting. Why are you on shows?
Whether they were dark or light, hey man, a Pookie is a Pookie. Ray Ray is a Ray Ray. Call in, Mary. Look, I'm telling you, man, I have an open panel. I don't mind you being here. I want you guys to really, if you guys really support Tariq, man, call in. Call in. I got somebody in the back. What's going on, man? What's up? You guys give me a second real quick. B1, let me ask you a question. I like this discourse, right? This is very respectful. Yes, and please forgive me for the way this question is going to come off. If FBAs are so ingenuitive, I'm going to go by what you guys are saying, right? I don't agree at all, but I'm going to go by what you guys are saying. If FBAs are so ingenuitive, so strong, so powerful, and built all these things, how are they able to get punked out physically and intellectual property? Like, how was their intellectual property stolen by these people? If because FBAs on Tariq's, you hear from them, they make it seem like FBAs are capable of flying. So how did these FBAs allow these people, white people, to punk them like that? If they're such great people, and so
that's a good question. And even though I don't think that's coming from a sincere place, it's a good question.
Territory, they have the power. It's that simple, right? So
hey Deans, you gotta either do something right quick. You gotta either close a tab out or use your phone. It's like a bad echo, bro. I want you here, but it's like a bad echo and it's a delay, bro. So it's can you like make some adjustments or something, or you want to call back in, or you want to like change your device or something?
We get punked out of our stuff.
Right, I'm gonna answer you. I'm gonna answer you. Low IQs. Low IQ.
Okay, I won't argue against that, I guess.
Low IQ. I would even argue that your average, most blacks are living in a different age. I would say that some blacks are living in the Stone Age, to be honest with you. So yeah, low IQs, to be honest.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But that's unfortunate because, and I can't argue with you as much as I hate to say this. I can't argue with.
Is he challenging Tariq, or is he going on a rant about his perspective on black people? What is he doing? This ain't challenging. Tariq, unless I'm mistaken, this does say kid did carry out the shoot, destroy Tariq and Nasheed in their explosive debate. I didn't know. Did they have a debate? No, he didn't have no freaking debate with Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed don't know him. Tariq Nasheed don't know him. He's done a couple of live streams about him before, but did he have a debate? No. What is he doing? I guess people are delusional, or they just want to talk shit all day. This is questionable, my dude.
With you because you're right. You have the numbers over there, and you haven't invented anything that has changed the world. So maybe you're right about that. But in regards to FBA, the reason why we were punked out of our stuff is because we don't have not only the population, and we definitely don't have the military power to resist everything of that nature, and also because the people that are in the positions that write these laws and that create these patents or validate these patents, they don't work in good faith. So they don't mind stealing these things and doing a paper shuffle to give credit to someone else. Seen this happen for centuries.
Okay. What's up, Gary?
How you doing? Good evening, brothers. Question for the FBA brothers. Do you all know who William Stills is?
Oh God.
Who?
William Still.
Not offhand, no sir.
No sir.
I find it funny that you guys are FBA and you don't know one of the most famous black abolitionists in the history of America.
I'm sure you're going to give us a history lesson of who this cat is. Instead of just going on a personal, attacking people personally about a certain person that they never knew, why don't you just explain who this person is?
That doesn't change what our lineage is, because we don't know of a particular person you name. That's a ridiculous.
No,
That's, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not finished. Hold on, let me just finish. I keep hearing you guys saying we, but I understand that there was different black Americans that invented things, but what does that have to do with the rest of you all? Henry Ford, who had the car, the Ford family got credit for that, not all white people. So what makes FDA think that they should get credit for things that they didn't do with their own hands or their own brains? Any one of you all can answer.
The same way that you and other tethers give white people credit for things that only one or two white people did. Same concept. Same concept. The same way that you say, hey, it was white people that did this and that, but really it was only one or two white people. That's the same way that we claim our lineage.
I've never said that in my life. Because when we talk about electricity, we say Ben Franklin. We don't say white people. When we talk about gravity, we say Isaac Newton. We don't say white people.
I know my great.
When they talk about all these different inventions, we actually use the person's names. But I notice with most of these things that FBA talks about, they don't even know the names of these people. And even if these people did all these things that you said, what does it have to do with the rest of the FBA when you all ain't did nothing?
It has nothing to do with any of that. You're losing the point of everything, and that's what chaotic and misguiding all you guys, all you people, all your
What point am I losing? What point am I losing?
The point, it's lineage. It has nothing to do with none of that. Now, all of that is just sidebar, letting you guys, reminding you guys about the histories and the footsteps that our ancestors have walked. That's just sidebar. It has nothing to do with that. So at the end of the day, hey, Gary, Mr. Gary, it has nothing to do with that. It's about lineage. It's some people that's proud that their ancestors that were slaves from America. There's people that's proud of that. There's people that's proud that their ancestors were Holocaust survivors. That's cool. You never fight them, do you? There's people that's proud that people that was in Japan. Hey.
Hold on, bro. Stop going about the past. Here's my problem with FBA.
It's lineage.
Tell me something that you have done today. Since slavery has been over.
You see why we're so separated? Do you get the point? You see the reason why we're drifting apart? Because of stupid niggas like this. What have you done? Why do I have to have a whole catalog about what I've done for my community, for my people? Why do I have to have the catalog? At the end of the day, it's not going to move you. So me explaining what I've done in my life to help my people is it's either going to help or harm you. And quite frankly, it's harming you in a sense because it's like you're attacking instead of giving your perspective. You're attacking this person. Now, I don't know if possibly they might be FBA because they're speaking in FBA terms, but regardless if they're FBA or ADOFs or Pan-African, attack their points and let's have a suitable conversation, right? That's what you end up telling us. But you got old Negroes. No disrespect to the elders, but you got old Negroes coming up on chaotic, you poisonous snake. You have people like this who just sit up there and just listen to the conversations, have no rebuttal, but you have chaos. You have complete chaos. I know that because I've been on his channel before. And it's nothing but a shit show at the end of the day. The talented 10th. What is that supposed to mean? You just screaming out every test. The talented
over. As a group, what has FBA done?
It has nothing to do with that. You look that up. You do that because it has nothing to do with
I already know that.
It has nothing to do with that. See, this YouTube is getting you going something sideways, and you're using the track. You're losing track of what's the real focus here. It's lineage.
What's the focus? Please tell us.
The lineage. It's lineage.
Okay.
It's lineage.
And what does lineage?
Right
Okay,
there,
hold on. Hold on. What does the lineage provide for you today in 2024?
It doesn't. What it does is separates me from Kamala. It separates me from people like you. It separates me from people like chaotic. You know what I mean? That's what that is. We're still all in the same thing. At the end of the day,
hey, Deans, you gotta fix your bro. Bro, you go out, bro. How about this, Deans? Go out and come back in and restart your StreamYard. It's like a bad.
Is that better?
Hold on, can you hear me?
What up, New World Order?
In real time?
Yeah, I can hear you in real time.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a lot good. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. No, thank you, bro. I wasn't yelling at you. It was just, yeah. Hey, FBA, you cool. Before you and Gary go back at it, I want to still address what Tariq said in that clip with me. He said that the 14th Amendment, which was ratified in 1868, is the reason why people can come to the country. And we should he said black people, FBAs, are responsible for the 14th Amendment. And thus is the reason why people should come into the country. The 14th Amendment is a amendment to the Constitution.
When was it ratified, sir? What year was it?
1868, 3 years after the Emancipation. Give me a second. Right? Well, give me a second. 3 years after the Civil War. Or when did the Civil War? 1863? I can't remember. But anyway, it wasn't black people. It wasn't black. Thank you. It wasn't black people that. Tariq said people should thank Black Americans for that. I think people should thank the 40th United States Congress. That was the 40th Congress is the reason why. Andrew Johnson is the reason why. It's not Black Americans.
Andrew Johnson or Andrew Jackson?
Andrew Johnson. I made a mistake earlier too. I thought it was Andrew Jackson, but it was Johnson.
Tennessee.
He was the president at the time. So the young man Deans, he called in and talked about, the same thing. And I said, well, Cicely Tyson, her family.
Andrew Johnson is a white man. Wasn't he president? Let me see. Andrew Johnson, born on December 29th, 1808, died on July 31st, 1875. The 17th president of the United States. Jesus. Now he's going to have me look this cat up. Interesting. Let's continue.
He came to the States in like 1900. So it was the government that made it possible for blacks and other people to come here, not the civil rights movement or Martin Luther King, which Dean said. But go ahead, FBA, Yakub and Gary. Go ahead.
Well, quick sidebar on that. Well, to an extent, we did help with the Reconstruction. A lot of stuff took off after that Civil War. We did have a hand in that as well. Now I know they did write the Congress and laws, but like we were the pawns in that. But we came out on a better hand on that after Reconstruction. But after they left, everything fell. But go ahead, Gary. I would say that because that's when you would see a lot of Black Republicans, and that they not necessarily were the Republicans that you see today, but they were Black elected officials. And once the Reconstruction, Civil War left, once they left out the South, everything was done for. That's when the KKK started coming back. That's when they played the birth of a nation in the White House. So it's a whole lot of stuff that's going on behind that. And, Gary kind of misses all that stuff because he really don't understand that lineage. You know what I mean? See, I feel that.
See, and another thing with that, and another thing after that Civil War, that's what happened with Juneteenth. Juneteenth wasn't a new holiday. See, I'm from the South. We've been celebrating this for years, for decades. My grandmas, they've been walking in this stuff. So it's a lot of stuff from the South and the North that a lot of y'all are disconnected. And CT, you misguided your audience with that. And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff you can learn from this stuff. And that's what I want to say with that. So
And what from the North, we've been doing Juneteenth for a minute, but I understand what you're saying.
But I guess this goes back to Gary's point. Okay, and what does Juneteenth have to do with anything right now?
All that has to do, that's celebrate my people. I'm pretty sure they do that with the small hats with the Holocaust, don't they? I'm pretty sure they do that with Hiroshima or something like that. Why can't they do something for my people that was in this path? You tell me, Gary.
FBA, you cool.
Can I tell you why you can't?
I'm just saying.
No. You just spoke. I'll tell you why you can't. Because unlike when you talk about Hiroshima and when you're talking about the small hats, they signed a thing called a treaty. That's why they're entitled to certain benefits that you can't. Because you know what? You didn't ever have to sign a treaty. They actually gave you an amendment to give you rights. Jamaicans are a little different than you Americans. We signed a treaty. The Indians in your country, guess what they signed? A treaty. Guess what FBA has never done? Signed a treaty.
Yeah, because the United States.
Thanks for proving my case. But go ahead.
Right.
That's my point. That's my point. But go ahead.
Your point. My point is, you never ever got your freedom. They gave you your freedom with an amendment. So with a strike, can I finish speaking, please?
Earned our freedom.
With the strike of a pen, they can take it away.
So we didn't get our freedom in 1865? That's when most black people were free, right? They weren't free mentally, but they were free physically. So that wasn't freedom? Confusing.
They can't do that to the Japanese or the small hats or the Jamaicans because we have something called a treaty.
They dropped nuclear bombs on Japan, and you want to use Japan as a reference point, and they put concentration camps right here.
Jamaica's little shanty town, brother. Let's be real.
No problem, brothers.
All right.
Jamaican has blacks, has Africans, and Asians, and Africans, Asians, and whites. So Africans, Asians, and whites. That's why you have, specific ones living in Jamaica. Right now, Asians are building roadways to their homeland. And they're putting tollways so mothers can pay a toll to get to the other side of the mountain. Are we gonna really debate these type of topics? Black America is special. You said Black America is special. Blacks in America are special. How are they special? I would like to know. How are blacks in America special? Even though I don't like using that term. How are blacks in America special? We would like to know.
Hold on there, brothers. Do we want to look at Hiroshima today, where they dropped an atomic bomb, and look at one of the hoods in America and see which one looks worse?
Let's look at Jamaica and see what looks worse.
Oh, you can go into the nice parts of the Jamaica.
I've been there.
I'm not saying okay.
I've been there.
Oh, hold on.
Towns, no running water, no electricity in some places. Are you serious?
You have places like that.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. How you doing, Bridge? How are we doing today in this wonderful morning or afternoon, wherever you're at? Because I know it's 11:27 here on the specific time. It's, I say, 2 o'clock on the East Coast. How are we doing today?
It takes 4 hours to get to Montego Bay to
when did you go to Jamaica?
The grill? Because there's no infrastructure.
Sir,
are you serious?
The last time
you guys are free over there, but you can't build a damn thing.
Sir,
That's not
sir,
a flex,
sir.
That's definitely
When-
not a flex.
When
I
was
was
the
there,
last time you went
$1
to
was worth
Jamaica?
$60 of your dollar.
Yes, we have genes everywhere. Here in the Americas is what's now America, over in Brazil, China, parts of Europe, Britain. I mean, don't get me started on Africa. Don't get me started. There is no man like the black man in America. I'm gonna have to that word. I'm gonna have to do a tutorial on that word. I'm gonna have to do a video, a little not like a on. I'll record it. How's that? I'll record it, and I won't go live, but I will do a pre-recording on that particular word. See, we need to be careful when we want things from the government, which they do owe us, right? They do owe us reparations, but we need to tread lightly. We need to be careful on certain words that we're using on an everyday basis, but we don't know what it means and we don't know who we are. So, but I will let it go for now, and I'm going to continue the video.
That's not a flex,
you a
sir.
question, sir.
Relax.
When was the last time you went to Jamaica?
Rascas, man. Relax, man. It's sorry.
I'm very relaxed. You can't answer the question.
So no, you're making these comparisons as if you guys are doing something great there.
No, I'm not.
Hey, guys, real quick.
I love my Jamaican people, man.
Guys, real quick. Jay Rillo says Japan was nuked twice and has the top three. It's one of the top three in the world. Well, it has the top. You can't talk about the building.
I agree with you, K.
Most of them
need to die, but this. Remember that?
We've given this too much life.
Dominantly white.
We're giving y'all too much.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on, let me read these super chats real quick. Marriage, politics, and sports with the $5 super chat. Issue with FBAs and ADOS is idiotic. All black folks need is another thing to separate us. At the same time, folks knowingly want KH to be black. Oh, Kamala Harris. She is not black, and I agree with you. And Little Light with the $20 super chat. I recommend to the blacks on the panel the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Self-examination is needed to get out of this victim mindset. The Jays had it way worse than the blacks, yet they thrive daily, and I would agree with that. I'll bring you back in a minute, Mike. Hang tight for me. Now, and I want Republic to finish, but Dean Supreme, listen.
I mean, look, let's talk.
There are no outside forces in these. Let me finish let me just finish what I'm saying, bro. There are no outside forces, man. It's keeping these blacks behind, bro. It's a culture of just not caring about science and math and cooperation, bro. I was in these schools, man. I'm telling you. So when he said, "Oh, it's foreigners," I said, "What are you talking about? It's mostly black teachers." But go ahead, sir. And then Republic.
We rarely have any. Well, I don't want to say rarely have any teachers. We rarely have any black male teachers. Come to Nevada. Come to the state of Nevada, whether it be Reno, Vegas, Pahrump, or anywhere else. In Nevada. Nevada is like 34th when it comes to education. That's dead last. That's second to dead last. No one is educating these kids. No one's educating these people. And these people got it worse over here. That's why I would promote that black people do not move to Las Vegas. You can come here and you can tour. You can come and visit, but if you're going to thinking you're going to live a life here and have your kids educated, It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's just too many things missing. And when it comes to the test scores, it's terrible. But kids graduate on a full clip with little to no results.
Public, go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. Every school, every region is different. Okay.
Oh.
Every region is different, brother.
Thank you so much, Derek.
I went to a high school that my great grandfather helped to build, but children couldn't go to the school, and they only lived a mile away. But then later on, when they integrated the school, my mom had a chance to go to school there, and then later I went to school there. He said that
instead of reacting to what Savage is saying, can you prove to him that the Moors were not Arab, but indeed blacks, particularly of sub-Saharan lineage?
Okay, which wave of the Moors do you want to discuss? Because there are multiple waves of Moors going the Iberian Peninsula.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
About the Almohads or the Almoravids, there are different. But see, he probably doesn't understand that, so it wouldn't make any sense to try to break that down to him because he doesn't think the Moors were black. But if
did I not just say the original Moors were Arabic?
See, kindly read my cash app. Hi, Angel and Bob. I didn't get
the original Moors.
Is this you, Poseidon, or said Limpwood 2.0? That's the only cash app I got. Saxophone with the $50 super chat. Give Mike a time out. Oh, that's no problem, man. Salute to you, Saxophone. Positive.
Yeah, me and Saxophone, we're gonna have to have a little chit. We're gonna have to have a little chit chat. I would beg his bitch ass to come over on my channel and talk that bullshit since he wants to kick people out the chat for telling truths. I want his bitch ass to come over to my chat room.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now,
okay. So, no, Dean Special. Hear me out for a minute, buddy. Hear me out. Hear me out. Don't, hey man, you've been rocking the whole day, really, and I gotta admit, you've been really good in terms of staying composed. Savage was born in 1980 something. I was born in 1984. Nobody on this panel has a time machine. You could be correct. The Moors could have existed, and they could have been individuals from where, or from what we call now Sub-Saharan Africa. Can you prove it, or can you give a good argument to refute?
I'll give you one example of a person that was here in the United States of America in Natchez, Mississippi, and he was freed from slavery because he was a Moor. Okay.
Who was that, sir?
All right. His name was Abdul Rahman Ibn Suri. Right. He was in Natchez, Mississippi. He was on patrol, and there were battles going on between different tribes.
Okay.
Was I would say probably the equivalent of a lieutenant. And the guys that he was with were captured. They were then marched to the coast. Then they were traded for goods. He ended up in Natchez, Mississippi. Remarkable, some white guy who had visited Africa and actually had visited his tribe and knew him because his father was like a big high chief and he even had rank. He seen him and was like, "What are you doing over here?" Told him the story of how he ended up over here. And then he helped petition the king of Morocco at that time. And because of the treaty that the United States had with Morocco,
even though we're standing on Morocco right now, but that's a different story for a different day.
They had to free him. This is a real story. So I'm not making this up. And he was a guy in Natchez, Mississippi. Okay.
And what year was that?
You can also look up the Sundry Free Moors Act of South Carolina, because they did not want to be classified as Negroes with everybody else because they look just like them. Okay. And so they had to go to the court and they had to prove that they were not Negroes. That's the Sundry Free Moors Act, South Carolina. Go look.
All right. Let me ask you some more questions real quick. Let me ask you some more.
Here go, Angel.
According to history, were in Europe. They obviously had to get there. They didn't teleport there like in Star Trek.
So they had to build ships, correct? They had to build ships. I'm not saying that you know this because you weren't around at the time, but where did they get the lumber from in Africa?
Yeah, they had to get it from the wooded areas. Okay, you're not going to find those. I mean, you do have areas throughout regions of northern Africa where they will have trees and stuff like that. But when you're talking about getting those huge trees that they need to build huge, boats. They didn't have ships as we have today. Okay?
Of course not, right? Yeah, they didn't have luxury liners, right? I get that. Go ahead, sir.
Right. So the things that they needed, they would get a lot.
I mean, we could have had ships. I mean, we had the first Black Star Line started with Marcus Garvey, but due to the fact that it was a tragedy had what happened to him, but send him to prison because of an empty envelope, and then afterwards, he dies of old age because he did everything he could and rallied like 10 million black people. That has never been done in the history. It has never been repeated. What Marcus Garvey did will never be repeated in the history of America. It will never be repeated. So we had our own ships. It was just, tragic things have happened.
A lot of that stuff from the central part of Africa and what they consider sub-Saharan Africa. Okay. Because the people were trading not only people but the skins of the animals that they were killing.
Okay, so just me and you real quick. So I've let you talk. I can't help. I'm trying to give you as much airtime as possible. So there are vast regions in Central Africa and what is now known as like Congo, etc., that has an enormous amount of trees, which is plausible, right? So are you saying that these ancient Africans, which were Moors, they were in that part of Africa, they chopped down these trees? How did they transport all that lumber?
I'm going to give an educated guess, okay?
Yeah, and that's all I'm asking for, because again, none of us have a DeLorean, none of us have a time machine. I literally am asking you a question because I really want to know what do people think, like because they had to have moved the lumber. How did they move the lumber if they got it from what is now known as Congo?
If Hannibal Barca was able to march elephants through the Alps, right?
Sir.
I don't think it's too far-fetched that other kingdoms and other rich people had domesticated large animals to be able to.
I don't know why I didn't think about that. Damn. So it's plausible that they used animals. Damn, I don't know why I didn't think about that. Go ahead. Because
it's common sense, right? Yeah. So if you go and you look at what's called Orientalist art, okay?
Yeah.
Anyone can go and look up Orientalist art and take a look at the people, okay? I don't read Arabic, okay? But I have been around people that do. I've spoken with scholars that's and we've had these types of discussions, okay? In Europe, just like in America, how in America we say light skinned and dark skinned, right? In Europe, they would say you are a blackamoor or a tawny Moor. Tawny meant that you were light skinned. Blackamoor meant that you were dark skinned. Angel, you can shake your head all you want.
No. Just me and you, sir. Just me and you. Just me and you. Just me and you for right now. Just me and you. Come on.
But the point is, why do I have to pull up DNA evidence? And
You don't, and you don't have to put it up. And you're in my opinion, right? And I've always said this. I think a lot of history is bullshit. I think they've lied. I think that you could just say, I mean, I think in 50 years, man, if you didn't really have a computer or the internet, you could just make some shit up about some historical shit. Now here goes my question to you though. The Moors supposedly built a lot of the buildings in ancient Europe, right?
Why does he constantly challenge the Moor science stuff? It's like he just doesn't want black people to exist. in my humble opinion, because he doesn't do this with European. He doesn't ask any questions about what European has done, what Europe has already done. He doesn't ask the type of questions about Europeans, but he'll ask all day about black people. Why? Because he hates himself. Quite clearly.
Right? Why don't we see that same development or that antiquity in Africa? Like, how come the Moors didn't just build up Africa?
Because you have to work with the resources that you have available. Okay.
But you just said they got the resources from Africa.
No. What I'm saying is, all right, in some places they built with stone. In some places they built with mud. In some places they build with straw. In some, people build with different materials, dude. So,
but Africa has I'm not trying to argue with you, but from what I've read, Africa has an abundance of all types of resources, right? Yeah. And Europe has a lack of resources. So you and I both agreed that in terms of lumber, what we call the Moors got the lumber from what is now known as either Congo or Central Republic of Africa. So how come I'm sorry?
They got trees in Europe, dude.
Right, but okay, so the Moors went to Europe and used the trees in Europe to build the.
It would make more sense if I got
but the Moors had to get the
misdirection. That's how you get a shit show started. Misdirection. Tired of cool ass niggas. He's asking because he has no clue about his own lineage. He's been not having a clue about his own lineage because he claims America. He was asked the question the other day. It was like, where are you from? I mean, he doesn't claim his Nigerian heritage. He claims to be here in America because he's seen everything. Oh my God. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. But as soon as a cop pulls him over, well, let me not go there because he probably would enjoy that shit. Oh, how you doing, sir? How you doing, Mr. Cop? Boy, I love that gun and I love that badge. Please beat me over the head with your baton. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want to feel it. That's this motherfucker right here. Oh, I don't want it.
Europe. So that was the original question. They had to get the lumber in Africa.
You don't really need large ships to travel from Morocco to the southern coast of Spain.
Correct.
Oh, so they went. Okay, so they got to Spain.
It's not that far. You can stand in Morocco and look across the Straits of Gibraltar and see Spain. So it's not that far. I mean, we got Haitians that get on inner tube.
Yeah, right. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but what I'm saying is that there's more resources in Africa compared to Europe, clearly, particularly West Europe. Why didn't they just use the resources in Africa and build up Africa?
I guess it would make more sense depending on the region that you were in, right?
Right.
So if you were in, let's say, Mauritania today, the place that's Mauritania today.
I'm familiar with Mauritania.
And you look at the geography there, you're not going to see a whole lot of trees, right? And then if you talk to any person that does carbon dating, anthropology and all that kind of stuff, they'll tell you at one point in time that the Sahara was a vast grassland and there were lots of animals there and there was a lot of life.
Did you hear about there's in the Sahara right now, there's a lot of greenery coming up right now, like some sort of natural terraformation. Well, here goes the thing. Okay, so the Moors, according to history, dominated parts of Europe for 800 years. They built extensively.
700 years to be exact.
They built according to a lot of FBAs and people, they said the Moors built and civilized Europe. Mm-hmm. Well, why didn't they just do that in Africa? I mean, why didn't they do that in Africa?
They did in certain places. They did in certain places, bro.
Okay.
Let's just say California isn't Mississippi.
You want to get your last words? Oh, he left. Go ahead.
Yeah, California isn't Mississippi. So because they don't have a Hollywood in Mississippi and they don't have a Silicon Valley in Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that, we don't get all these great things from the United States.
California isn't claiming to have made all movies ever in life and taught other people to make movies.
Hold on, let them finish. Savage, hold on. Hang tight, guys. Hang tight. Let them finish. Let them finish. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dean Supreme. Go ahead, sir.
Talk about the
about. Sorry, but salute to you. TGM with the $2 super chat. Just a friendly reminder, FBA all day. Must be the money. Tara, what are you talking about?
That their national name became associated with being in servitude. That's why we call them people that came over here from Africa and South America and other places that were in bondage in North America. And we call them, they say they were the slaves, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but slave, take the E off, that's Slav. And that's where that name comes from. So if we're going to point fingers, everybody's going to be pointing fingers at each other. Okay, that's just a fact. The Romans enslaved the Gauls. The Romans enslaved
I'm reading too much into it. I'm just looking for the part where he's challenging Tyreek. Maybe, just maybe, I read, let me put myself on big screen. Maybe I read a little bit too much into it. But the way this little called Tyreek out, and I'm not a real big fan of Tyreek too much. But I thought he was just reviewing. I was excited. I thought he was going to be reviewing it. I guess I didn't do my due diligence. I admit I didn't do my due diligence. I should have just went combed through it. And if he didn't, I would have basically called his no. But he called him out, and I'm like, why would you call Tyreek out? But specifically, you had a conversation with him, quote unquote, and that's fine. And yet you have people over here challenging you, right? You have FBA over your live stream challenging you and calling you out for the person that you particularly are. It's quite strange to me, and I don't pay too much attention to that particular part of the chat, right? But you're challenging him, and yet we have not seen not one full clip of that. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'll play a few minutes. I'll entertain this for a few minutes, and then we'll move on to the next video. What up, Vaughn?
The people from the Carthaginians, okay? The dominant class is always going to find a way to rule. That's why every job you go to has a human resource department.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm just saying. Go ahead.
The most important resources that we have as humans are other humans. So if you can subject the number one apex predator on planet Earth, if you can subject them to your will, you have a lot of power. And that's just what it is. When Christopher Columbus and his sons and the others came over, there were native tribes here that had slaves. It's just something that went on in the world, bro.
Okay, real quick before everybody else gets in, Nick Tiles, any of this making any sense to you?
No.
Okay. American Man.
That was too easy.
What's up, man? Salute.
Lord D-Tron, what's up, bro?
ACT. I just want to say we was Moors and shit.
Hold on. Shut it down. CT.
Yeah.
Now you know I rock with you. You know I rock with you.
Hey, Dave, you gotta fix that mic, bro. I don't know what's going on. What you say? Go ahead, American Man.
You know I rock with you 90% of the time. And this is the day I got smoke for you.
Why? Keep it real.
I got smoke for you.
Keep it real.
I listened to your rhetoric at the beginning, right? And I respected your wishes when you said, I only want Tariq Nasheed callers to come in, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm not going to hit the
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. And I said, I'm not going to hit the link until CT is ready for the regular panelists. But I got smoke for you.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me ask you a question, CT. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number one, this 14th Amendment thing, right? You see, this is where all the Tariq Nasheed morons dropped the ball. The 14th Amendment, as CT says, was created over.
You know, moron back in the day was a bad word to use. You better be glad we're living in this century, because the word moron, for whatever reason, got you killed or deleted, quote unquote. I mean, moron doesn't mean anything anymore. It's the same thing as, you know, cunt. But bitch is more of a stronger word. I don't know why, because everybody uses it. A woman uses it towards a man uses it towards a woman, and vice versa. It's just so old. But at some point, we're going to use a word that's going to, you know, mainly offend the person, but words don't mean anything, especially in these days of time. I mean, again, we're in internet. Nobody is capable, unless you're living in my local state, in my city. If you're willing to use the word that's going to offend me, which isn't much, then I have the ability to get up, get in my car, drive to wherever you're at, and teach you a lesson or two. Again, this is the internet.
Or by white people. Correct.
It was.
Right? But it was not created by white people for you barefoot tethers speaking in click-clack language. Now, CT, keep in mind, it's just for content. So just keep that in mind. Wasn't created for you barefoot tethers. The Black Americans is who it was created for. And so after that was created, the Black Americans wrongfully decided to feel sympathy for the click-clack tethers. And then they all started pouring in because you know, Black Americans, too many of them, right? Which I'm against. They show too much teeth, right? And they all want to be buddy with all these other people, with all these other so-called blacks from all these nations, which these are all a bunch of fucking aliens, and they probably should just stay in their shithole countries.
But those countries were shithole countries at the time. A lot of those countries were under colonial rule. I mean, you know,
all countries were shithole countries at that time.
Oh no! I'm not done. I don't need any help.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Sorry,
right? That's what was created for the Black American, for the descendants of slaves.
Didn't know that. I just thought it was for anybody who wanted to naturalize.
No. It was not for you barefoot, ashy-toed, and knees click-clackers. It wasn't for that.
It wasn't for the hunter-gatherers.
It was for no. You guys weren't hunter-gatherers. You guys were barefoot, ashy-toed, and knees click-clackers. That's it.
Go ahead, sir.
Right? That's who the 14th Amendment was for. Americans, right? The Black Americans, descendants of slavery. So when you try to go on this rant about black people did not implement the 14th Amendment, you could pull that on the Tariq Nasheed morons, because they still think that they don't have the right to vote. So those people are morons. Another problem I have, right, is we often like to pretend like black people have done nothing in America. Now, I think a lot of what happens is we look at the recent bunch of black people under Democrat Party rule, right? The dumb monkeys that sold their soul to the Democrat Party. right? Which I will agree. Those monkeys, completely useless.
Bingo.
Useless. But before,
notice that every time you go on to his live stream, he would literally let anybody get away with anything that's online. It's just like I tell white people, you can say whatever you want, but I'm not mad at you. I'm not specifically mad at you because you have your First Amendment rights. Just don't, like, for example, don't say the N-word and think that I'm going to attack you for it. I'm just going to have a conversation with you. But don't think that other people might not have the conversation with you because you might offend that person. And if you offend that person, well, do what you do best and call the police, I guess. I don't know, because you were basically you have basically crossed that line. You have crossed that threshold. And people who absolutely cross thresholds get the consequences and repercussions of their actions. Me, I just wanted to have a conversation with you on why you think that you're so free of using that word around us. More importantly, you're free to tell a black woman. It has nothing to. I mean, it has nothing to do with humanity. It has everything to do with your nationality. You're European. I am an African. Any white male who challenges my nationality must be dealt with logically nowadays. Man, I wish it was the old days.
they decided to en masse vote for the Democrat Party out of slavery. When you look at what blacks were doing, because everything was segregated, they were building and making their own things. And so there's a big part of Black American history that everyone loves to leave out. The big part that everyone loves to leave out, right? The Tariq Nasheed people and the pro blacks now of today. There's a big part that they need to leave out. Between the end of slavery and the Martin Luther King era, black people were doing so much in this country that everyone likes to leave out.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Right?
Through segregation. Through segregation. We were married and we have wives and we were building shit and the whole shit got burned down. Right. And we still have 1.5%. Oh, excuse me. To me, it's 2.0. 2.0 wealth, power and wealth and influence in this country. 2.0. Originally, it was 1.5. We have not moved the needle since that time, sir. Look around you. What have we moved? What have we moved? What have we moved? Where are our stores? Where are our grocery stores? Where are our schools? Where are our ships? Where are our ships? Where are our cargo ships? So we can transport healthy foods here to and from. I don't hear too much talk about that.
Because let me tell you something about Martin Luther King. And this is when I'm upset a lot of you people. Martin Luther King ushered in the begging Negro era.
Yes, I will agree with you on that.
I concur.
He ushered in the begging Negro era. Before that, Negroes were not begging. So Martin Luther King, to me, was an op. He was an op. And if we could go back, I would have got him up out of here a lot sooner.
Easy.
See the disrespect. You see the disrespect. I may not agree with everything Martin Luther King had done, but we all know that in the end, he did what was necessary, but it was too little, too late. We all know the outcomes. I'm still not going to disrespect the brother like that. I'm not. So with most 8, whatever, plumber, fuck you. How's that?
Easy.
Okay. All right.
Easy. Go ahead, sir.
If we could go back, I would have told the people to invite him to lunch to see some trees a lot sooner than they did. Because he ushered in the begging Negro.
Oh my God.
This is on you, Truth. This is on you. People like that, I would have called to the platform. I'm like, put in the Addy, nigga. I would invite to the platform and say, put in the Addy. Why? Because you need to be dealt with. I may not have agreed with what Martin Luther King had did, but I'm not going to be so vulgar and so ignorant and disrespectful to disrespect a person like that. You haven't done nothing, completely, absolutely nothing to uplift your people, you stupid fucking whore. You have done absolutely nothing but complain. I hope Tariq absolutely calls you out. I hope Tariq does, but I don't know if he'll reach that. But I'm gonna skip this little piece of shit because, quite frankly, this was even a waste of my time. And I'm sorry I even included y'all in this. This was even a waste of my time. We all know who Chaotic Truth is. We all know who Chaotic Truth is. He's a piece of shit that doesn't know anything about his heritage, don't know nothing about nothing, but he knows a few little inventors here and there. A few little people, astronauts and nuclear physicists and shit like that. This was a waste. This was a waste, but don't trip. I got something else for you. But god damn, this is a learning curve. I mean, of course, he's gonna have a whole bunch of black people who just completely hate themselves over there, and they're gonna contend with everything they're gonna contend with. We all know that. We all know that for sure. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have not done so, if you would like to become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. And this last one is going to be a preview of a review of Philosophical's ranting back and forth with Sharon Bracey, and of course Philosophical won that debate due to the fact that Sharon was absolutely repeating himself and getting himself in a lot of trouble and showing his true colors when it comes to black people. When it comes to black people, he has the solutions. He has not, because I can tell somebody to lose weight. I can tell somebody to watch what you eat and stuff like that. I can tell you that. But I want to give credit where the credit is due. If you can find a way to get our people to get off to shit or even get off the pot, in other words, lose weight, diet, exercise, to get healthy, to get strong, I mean, I can give you credit for that. I mean, we can all be on the same boat. And also, if I can give you absolute credit for not bashing women the way that you do. When you don't bash women, when you give equal, when you give a balance to the structure, but I mean, you're calling people out within your means. I mean, that's all you. I mean, you call people what Rim Brothers for what a couple of years now. You've been calling out Rim Brothers for years. I mean, I have no issue with that, but here's my issue. Here is my issue. When you yourself, and I'm talking about Sharon Bracey, when Sharon Bracey ends up having, he can have whoever he wants to have on the show. But to have white folks get away with what they get away with is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable and totally unexcusable. And to the fact that you have people who are shouting in your ear, whether it be through Cash App, Super Chat, or whatever. If they did, listen, let me give an example, right? If I were to have somebody white come onto the channel, come on the panel, and have a discussion with me about racism in America, and let's just say it gets heated and he calls me the N-word, right? I'm not going to bring him down because it doesn't affect me. But for a person that's in the chat, it might affect them in a certain way. They may not like it. So what they end up doing, they're going to get him up out of here through Cash App, whatever, or Cash App or or Super Chat, right? We did that, and yet they're still up there. And this girl, like I said, this girl Grace says the N-word at least 11 times, and it's unexcusable. In this case, in the latest live stream that they did, they were up there and they were disrespecting the voice of Venus. The voice of Venus is a nice, good-looking black woman. It's a very, very nice, good-looking black woman, right? And Ben is this old, decrepit white man who was do nothing but smoke cigarettes and drive across town in his trailer park, calling her a bitch. Calling the voice of Venus, a bitch, and all you need to respect the panel and blah 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 blah. And then you got this, and then you got Grace, this woman, Jesus Christ. But usually in that case, I would let the two of them handle it. But I have too much. I have too much respect for my black women to say enough is enough. Enough is enough, bitch. You don't know anything about my culture, my heritage, or nothing like that. Keep your mouth shut. But that's just me. That's just me. If Venus would have told me to chill out, I would have chilled out. But I'll ride for Venus. I'll ride for pretty much anybody who mainly has an issue. Maybe will have an issue with those particular people because that's all they do. That's mainly all they do is get chaotic. But let me get off that. This is all about Philosophical and his win. The debate against Sharon, and I saluted. I shouted him out earlier. Salute to Philosophical.
AKA Killer Cam. We're gonna review it now. Y'all gonna have to bear with me, right? I'm about to get into it. Let's go.
So my opponent, which doesn't have a real leg to stand on, he needs something to go off of because he had no leg to stand on. So when we go with women being more educated, making more money, they are more likely to stay with their husbands. They are more likely to appreciate the lives that they created together because they are equally yoked. And we both know that when a man and a woman is equally yoked, they have a better chance of surviving this thing called marriage. They stay together at an 80% clip of men and women being educated and making enough money to survive for being a part of the middle class. And so this is one of the reasons why we got to say education absolutely matters with men and women.
Yes.
So women that are educated, they stay with their husband. So if you are broke and dumb, most likely you would get a divorce.
Shout out to Iz. Shout out to Iz. Shout out to Iz. Iz is in the building. Okay, they popped it off. Okay, we got Black Like a Conqueror King. Let's go with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got Keith Mullins in the building. I will appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, thank you. We just need 10 more and we up. You want to ask me a question? You can do that. Shannon said Zangief had me weak. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, man, like cats like listen.
I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call that woman Zangief. I would call it John Candy or Dan Aykroyd or some shit like that. Well, he going to the Street Fighter route. Okay, cool.
Listen, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. When we outside, we all know. If I see you with something, we men know what you did to get what type of woman you got. For good or for worse. We know, okay, he took that route. Oh, he took that. We know men have a thing. So when you out here talking crazy, like I'm this and I'm that, you should have my results. You sure I want your results? We be talking crazy and we be throwing rocks from a glass house. Real men know when you really dealing with women out here, there's the woman that you worked for, and then there's the woman you settled for, and then there's the woman that you attracted. Sometimes those three different women. And real men know which one is which. Some chicks, we could tell by the dynamic of a relationship, you're chasing her and you're doing everything to keep her attention. Some situations based on the dynamic of the relationship, we know you settled for her. Some women based on the dynamic and energy of the relationship, we feel like, okay, she's feeling you. So it's a difference. And then beyond those three differences, then you have a different others beyond that. Then you got look wise, and it's just layers to it. You know what I'm saying? So we try to make it all black and white in this YouTube space, but like there's nuance to it when you out here dealing with women and you dealing with brothers that you know deal with women. Pause, not like that, but you got friends and you know the situation. Like, okay, there's the in between girl, there's the in the meantime. Like it's different levels to it. So I know when I see what you working with, I already know what situation you really dealing with. So you be talking like you from this big time, big boss, I'm running shit situation. That ain't what you is. That's not what it is when I see what you working with. You know what I'm saying? People need to stop throwing rocks from a glass house. Don't play with me and don't come for me. Leave Illa alone. Leave Illa alone. Like that. I'm starting making t-shirts like that. Leave Illa alone.
And to his dismay, I mean, Illa, he's real with it, but to a person like Mr. Bracy, I mean, real can only get you but so far because that's his show, right? And he believes if you're not on his time, then you're basically changing his narrative, so to speak. And that's that we are the world shit. But he's just keeping it real for what it was and what it really is. And he wasn't being disrespectful or anything, but I even look and you have Rim Illa on there. Like, come on, bro. Come on. I mean, the man wasn't being but respectful to you. And I had to give it to him that like, yo, he didn't have to do it like that. I mean, that's just how people are. That's just how people are. People want to get the clicks and the views and the notoriety and everything, go viral, blah 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 blah. I'm not savvy like that, and I could care less if it goes. I only went viral once, actually twice, but I went viral that one time when I was on Baller X because he didn't nearly deserve it, and I looked like a complete fool. I looked like a complete fool arguing with Big J. I will never do that again. unless it's provoked.
The Summer Jam screen is always available. Trucker, yeah, what's up? The link is in the chat. If you want to pull up and chop it up, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. Let's get back to the review for those who ain't see it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Hold on. Let me add this back to the screen. Hold on. All right. Let's go, Trucker. Yo, what's good, my boy? Right, here we go. He finished. That's it.
Wait, the 1 minute clock is going to start now. What?
Okay. Well, he didn't really respond to the question. The question was, does getting educated make you a better wife? Nothing he said proves that. What he proved is that once women do get married that are educated, there's a chance they might stay educated longer. But that doesn't mean that getting educated alone makes you a better wife. There's also studies that show that most women that are more likely to get divorced are educated women in the 90% clip, as opposed to 70% of most women who are not educated are 70% likely to get divorced. Women who are, it goes to 90%. So the question still remains, does going to college alone add attributes that women can apply to make them better wives? Shows we see all the time women who are educated still have trouble relating to their man, because sometimes when our women become educated, it makes them a little more arrogant. It raises their expectations. It makes them hard to be compatible because income makes them feel like that.
And this is where I would slightly disagree. Just because you have an education doesn't mean that a woman is smarter than you or is smarter than the average guy. It just means that they have a little notch under their belt so they can get that type of job that they need to succeed. That's all that means to me. I mean, but again, going back to that, all that is null and void. But when you have a nigga like Sharon who had blatantly disrespected this man, like, it's all null and void now. But yeah, I slightly disagree with that point. I mean, we can agree to disagree, but the blatant disrespect, I mean, that's got to stop. I mean, he's a rim brother until you redeem him not being a rim brother. Oh, that's not how that goes. That's not how that goes, for real, for real.
That justifies feminine grace and submissiveness when it comes to a relationship, and it's been proven that that's not the case. Now,
again, I think my opponent he doesn't know how to understand or read statistics.
See, this is where things kept going left. I kept bringing information. Now I can't read. Now I'm stupid. You know, all this little slick little undertone stuff he was doing all night, instead of just saying.
If you're not on Sharon's time, if you're not comprehending what he is saying at a clip, if you're not being logical on his time, if you're basically not thinking his thoughts, if you're not in alignment with him, then you're somebody else. Like you're a pro blackity black, which I don't know what that means. You're basically not on his timeline, and you're basically a rum brother, blah 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 blah. And he has gotten away with that tremendously, and he has eaten off of that, which I don't mind him doing, but you know the cost of doing business. You know the cost of doing business. You're gonna get your head smashed in, sometimes other than others. Sometimes people are gonna see you. Sometimes people are gonna debate you. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's you get offended. Somebody's gonna see you on your platform, just like Izzy Band does all the time. I thought somebody was in the crib. Anyway, yeah, but again, you know, Illa, to me, he's a solid person. He's a solid person with a solid background, and I just didn't believe there's no call for that. And this is the reason why he had to lash this. He had to lash that nigga. He had to give him 1,000 lashings for talking shit.
Your point. Now you're telling me I'm basically saying I'm slow and I can't read. No, so I'm trying to chill. Because I know this is easy work. So I'm like, bro, could you just prove my point? Because he never proved that. I asked him. I said, you cite a source and all that. He never did none of that. And I want to cite some sources since I'm here with y'all. I think I should share the source that I talked about on the show. But yeah, that was the first subtle shot. You know what I'm saying? That was the first subtle shot.
Why you was, you know what I mean? I don't even know why you was going back and forth with this dude, man. Cause he is, you could tell, man, he a troll to me. She say what she want, talk to men crazy. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, what type of dude is this?
And you setting her up for failure because now she's going to go in the world looking for surround braces and she's not going to find it. And then when she finds the surround braces, that's not what she wants. Because that's the thing about these women. They be complaining, but the men that they want don't like the shit they on. The men that you want don't like that. And you know that. So it's like, you can keep playing that game all you want. But the men that you actually desire that will actually be able to be an asset to you, they're not going to be turned on by the way you're talking to them. And if this man is letting you feel like this is all right, he's setting you up for failure in the real world just to make some money. And it's like, why can't you make money and keep it real? You ain't got to be pro-black and all of that, but you can just be pro-truth and pro-fairness. That's what I try to be. I don't think nobody should be disrespecting on the panel, regardless of the talking point. Everybody should be respected. Nobody should be talked too crazy. That's not what he got over there. It went from solution-based to the Wild and Wacky Wake Up Show. I think it's funny that he changed that name after I started talking to him. Now all of a sudden you stepped away from solutions. I found that funny. Right. Very funny.
That's a good point. That is a good point, Illa. That is a good point. Why would you change the name from solution-based to wacky, whatever how you would do it? Why would you change the name? Because you have no solutions. No real one, actually. Especially real solutions that are based on our culture, our way of life, our way of living. Your biggest thing is we should just not necessarily scrap the whole black culture thing, but try to get with people within your community, like white people. White people are in your community. Asians are in your community. Chinese are in your community. Japanese are in your community. Indian in your community. Blah, 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 blah. So you want social immigration. Okay, cool. You know, social immigration doesn't work, right? Because when it came to reparations, I always go back to this key point. When it comes to reparations, every other culture has gotten it but our. Why is that? We want to conversate. We want to have the conversation. We want to be socially recognizable. We want to be respectful. But when we're being hunted, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. It's always a question of what can we do better? What can we do better? Because we see it in rap music all the time. We see it in our cultures all the time. We sell drugs. We sell drugs. We abort our babies. Would you have a woman on there that said that she would abort black boys? And the broad don't come up. You have, and no, I'm not going to even go there with Bomb Cherry. I mean, Bomb Cherry is Bomb Cherry. Okay, I'm not going to say it anymore. The Bomb Cherry is Bomb Cherry, but PH Diva is just that, a diva. And I often ask myself, why can't she just divest? Why can't she just divest from Black people, Black culture, period? Just like the rest of these freaking yahoos. Why can't she just divest from everyone and just get with somebody who fits her narrative? But no, she's with Sharon. Her and Sharon are on the same boat together in the pits of hell where they should be when it comes to the betrayal. When it comes to betrayal in your race, it is disgusting. But I'll let you have.
Right. That's why I say he's a troll. He just, you know what I'm saying, he keep talking about the results, but at the same time, you with a white woman. You ain't with a black one.
And that's cool. But you're talking to Black women.
The contradiction in that. You're talking, you want to talk black, you want to act black when philosophical was getting in your ass, pause, you started getting offended and the black came out of you, pause again, and you started acting all fishy like a little bitch, but now all of a sudden you want to be black. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. What does your white woman think about all that?
Telling them how to deal with black men. So if that's the game you playing, you're not credible for that game. And it's like super duper obvious and hypocritical.
It's just like if Bridget was on there, and I know Bridget wouldn't go on there, but just say, for example, if Bridget were to go on it, right? And she got into an argument with Grace, I would literally would say something, even though there are people in these spaces, wink, wink, say, leave it up to the women to argue with the women. I don't do that. I'm literally going to stand there because guess what? That white man is going to stand right next to his white woman. He's literally going to stand right next to his white woman while they start jumping back and forth. So you stand there, I am going to stand there. I may talk my shit. Bitch, I just may talk my shit. And you ain't going to do a mother thing about it. I'm censoring myself, by the way. You ain't going to do a mother thing about it. I would literally get in your shit. I will probably take a brick and beat the out of this white man for disrespecting. But in today's time, it's like, yeah, we had to have a conversation. No, I would literally stand there next to Bridge and I would talk my shit. And Ben Thorpe, he said what he said. And that's when I started saying, do you want to get your ass whooped? That's what I said. But again, if he were in Las Vegas, but he's not. So I can literally say whatever I want to say. You can believe me, you can not believe me, but this is fine. But if he was in my area, that's a whole different story. You're not, as long as I'm on YouTube, as long as I see that Bridge is on the platform and she's trying to speak and you keep interrupting her, do you think I would let that go? And here's the disrespect. This mother literally is going to express how Bridge should act like a black woman should act. Did I get that right? You literally just came out of your face, and you can go on to Sharon Bracey's live, and you can review it. You can review it yourself. You literally are telling another black woman how she should act. The ironic balls on this. To tell, anyway.
But what's up, Wesley, man? Appreciate you, brother. Peace, peace, peace.
What's going on, Ella?
Shit, right, man, I'm meditating, man. Meditating.
It's wild, but the thing that I wanted to contribute here is a couple of things. Number one, when you're debating someone and you feel like they're attacking who you are, there are some things that, and I had to learn this myself, what they call logical fallacies, right? What he was doing was called trying to use an ad hominem attack against you. So what an ad hominem is basically that you try to attack the messenger without addressing the message. So by him continually doing that, he's trying to discredit you as a source of information. And,
exactly.
You know, it had no basis, and it really didn't serve the discussion in any way.
Absolutely, absolutely, man.
Now,
and
part, that I wanted to, bring up in dealing with somebody that is trying to function in that manner. It's first off, I wanted to say one thing about what you were saying about, respect on your name. And I had to learn this, and I learned this at a crazy, crazy time. A friend of mine told me that how a shark breathes is that it moves forward in the water. So if you have a shark that is still in the water, it's probably dead. So what he said to me was, be the shark. And at that time, I was pissed off about what was going on. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But crazy. I ended up learning, I got to keep moving forward, regardless of what anybody says or does. And that there was something else that he had said, which is all news is good news if you are in the spotlight, because it keeps your name in people's heads. You're living rent free in their heads, regardless of what it is that's said or done. So the point of respect really does not matter one way or another, as long as they are continuing to discuss you. Okay. So if you're in a discussion or a debate and somebody is going off the rails into a direction that you didn't start, you can possibly ask questions to get clarity on what they're saying. And then at the end of all of your questions, come back with, we weren't talking about that.
And that's basically what I kept saying. And he kept, as you can see, like every time I try to just stick to the subject, he said he had to start off with something slick. So let's see what he responds. Let's see what he say, how he opened the statement up.
Right.
My opponent is confused about what the question is. So again, women that
right there.
Education means high school and higher, right? So meaning that they have college.
It's like he kept trying to elude or insinuate that I'm like slow or something. Like I'm not able to comprehend. Like he just kept doing that instead of just speaking his piece. I didn't say one ad hominem attack yet. I just kept keeping it above water, keeping it high, keeping it cool. Shout out to the chat. We got 26 people in the chat. Please hit the like button. The goal is 80 tonight. If you can help me reach that goal, that'll be beautiful. We halfway there. We had like 47. So we just get, I'll say what, 33 more, and we'll be at our goal. So please show some love, or 34. So we just need 34 more and we'll be straight. Anybody want to add to that? Ty, you back? Ty for L? Yeah. Peace, bro. You have something you want to add to the conversation before we go back to the video? Is he there? Is he there? All right, go ahead.
Nah, man. I was just looking at this, man. Like, just because it's not that, like he said, y'all was talking about like the educated one, right?
Your phone breaking up, bro. You might want to reset and come back. I can't hear you. Your phone breaking up, brother. Refresh and come back. Refresh and come back. All right.
Right? Their divorce rate is much lower than the women that do not have education. So that's what we are basing it off of. So with that statistic, it shows that those women stay with their husband rate. So therefore, they are better wives because they are staying with their husbands at a higher rate. By the statistic that we're going off, you are going off your feeling and emotion, maybe because you had a relationship with a higher educated woman, maybe you was married to a higher educated woman that left you. I have no idea. However, women that are in a higher
Unnecessary.
education, they have a lower divorce rate than women that have a lower education.
That still doesn't qualify them for initiating a union. So you don't understand the statistics. That's like, for example, 1,000 men could go to a college, right? Out of that 1,000, 100% graduated at the men, put like this, 1,000 men, we're judging 1,000 men. Out of that 1,000, we're judging 100 out of that 1,000 that went to college. Now, if 100 people out of that 1,000 that went to college graduated, that means that most men that graduated from that college graduated at a 100% rate, but that still doesn't take into account the other 900 that didn't even go to school. So what you're talking about is the group of women who are educated that got married. That doesn't speak to the women who are educated who never was married. So that stat does not disprove that. Like I said, once again, getting educated alone does not determine that you are a better wife or that you get more options to be a wife. What you explained that is once they are educated and are in a relationship, the chances of them getting divorced may be slightly lower than someone who's not. But that doesn't mean they're getting married more than someone who's not.
Again, nobody said.
I have to address some things real quick because this is a real interesting question. I'm just looking around my just looking at some things in my studio. And World Peace 0266 asked me an interesting question. May I ask, what exactly is the purpose of the video platform? I tuned in because I thought this was another platform to educate, encourage, and unite Black people. I often do the whole education thing all the time. I encourage people to stay tight within their community. I often do that all the time. And I do that mostly with Umar Ifatunde videos and other videos as well, because they are a little bit more in tune, they're a little bit more experienced. I learn from them and I take heed to what they say through reading. That's education. Through reading, through comprehending, through analyzing, right? So anything I get from them, anything I get from the elderly culture, anything I get from, like, say, Dr. Ben Yokovich, Dr. John Henry Clark, if I get education from them, and even Professor Griff, if I can get that type of education from them, I will put it on. I would literally put that on here. Now, if you want me to do more educational shows, then I can. And I can. Even though it doesn't get the promotion that it should. I can do it. It's no problem. It's no biggie. It's no biggie at all. But that was a real good that was a real interesting question. I would prefer those questions other than you played too long of an intro. Screw you. Pay me, and I won't have to do intros. You don't tell an angry man not to do a freaking intro. He does an intro for a whole 10 minutes, yet you don't complain to him. Hell out of here. You don't complain to any other person but me. And it's like, I can do whatever I want on my own platform. I don't complain to nobody else what they do on a platform. I would rather have what I just read versus the other shit that I read on certain occasions. Good thing is balanced. It's balanceable. I get an equal amount. I get an equal amount of criticism, and I get an equal amount of love. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's continue.
Getting married more.
This guy don't understand the question.
So again, you have
He don't even understand the purpose of the initial reason I even said it in the conversation that led to this debate. I just said that that's not a qualifying factor that will make a woman a wife or not. And none of the stuff he's saying is disproven. He's just saying that when women get married who are educated, they stay married at a longer time. Okay, but what percentage of women who are educated are getting married? That number matters, because that number will speak to my bottom line. You're just saying that you're just proving that they can do it. And we're not saying they can't do it. We're not saying they're not eligible. We're just not saying if they did do it, it's not because that they're educated solely. You how you feel about that, Keith?
Question.
Go ahead.
With the statistic that he brought up, did he say where that came from?
I'm glad you said that. So as the conversation goes, I actually asked him for the source. So watch what happens. Because I'm gonna ask him for the source.
Educational purposes.
Again.
No, I don't.
Women that are higher
And
educated,
when
their
you were
divorce rate is lower,
here,
which shows that they are willing to stay with their husbands, which shows they are better mates than women that do not have an education. Meaning they are better wives than women that do not have an education, because they are willing, because they have the competency to do what is needed within the relationship, whatever's needed for that man, for that husband, for that family. And for some reason, your comprehension, you keep saying things that I have not said.
Keep talking slick.
You cannot, for some reason, understand. You have a comprehension problem.
See, all of that.
Do you want to intervene? Any question, clarifying question?
What was the initial question?
Let me actually bring the prompt back again. Woman.
Who asked what specific question? You got judges down here, and you got the referee, which is Fatty up here. So you got Uncle Rick, and you got Nightish, and you got Ray McKnight, which are the judges. So if any of the judges want to ask a particular question, they can, but they can't side with anybody. They can't, everything is neutral. Oops.
Being educated makes them a good wife, a better wife.
That's all I want.
A good wife. Let's go with that. Okay, woman being educated makes her a better wife. Anybody has any point of contention when it comes to these? Like, anybody has some questions, some clarifications?
That's around. I have.
Oh no! I'm just going through. Hey Lisa, how you been? No, you ain't late. You're better late than never. I'm just going through my studio, and I'm just reading my comments in the comment section, and I got some new comments, and people complain about everything. Yeah, but I get like a healthy dose of complaining and a healthy dose of love at the same time. So I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping at all. Yeah, better late than never. Better late than never. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And guess what, Lisa? Auntie came up here and blessed us with a not a super chat, a membership yesterday. So I'm up a few more members, and I did review the video for Nate. I did review Nate's video. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting indeed. Go ahead. You can. I mean, I'm just letting you know. Just not saying that you have to do it now, later, or whatever. But my super chats are back up, so I can go ahead and start super chatting now. If people want to bless a brother with a super chat or a cash app, that's fine. I would rather prefer a cash app because, like, a brother is struggling with his means right now because he had to pay rent, had to help pay some rent. But back to the video. Which one? I'm lost in the sauce. What do you mean, which one? And how are you doing, by the way? How are you doing, by the way? You know what I'm gonna ask you to do, right? You know what I'm about to ask you to do. It's only gonna be for a few minutes. If you can come on up. No, the one that you gave me, I think 2-3 days ago. The one about the brother hanging himself in the truck, and he's saying it's a conspiracy theory and stuff like that. That video. Yeah, that video. Yeah.
I have one for Saran. Do you have any definitive statistical stats that can back up, substantiate what it is that you're saying about the higher educated women with a more educated background? The family is more better off with a woman with more higher education.
All right, so the study shows that educated women had a lower overall divorce rate compared to those with less education. So that shows that woman is willing to do more. She has more competence to lead the family in the right direction. Women that do not have education, they getting divorced at a 50% clip or higher. So that's the only thing we got, because my wife is what I consider my wife is to be good versus what Illa considered a good wife. It could be completely, totally different things. However, what we can say is that because they are willing to have better relationships with their husbands and with their family, that they are better wives.
Can I ask a question? This study that you're talking about, what year was that study taken?
Good. It's good that you're still on your feet and getting the physical therapy that you need. Although, yeah, I do have some concerns, but I'm not gonna put it on there for it. I mean, what we need is a healthy dose of Elisa. So, I mean, of course, Halloween is coming up, and you and your husband can, scare off one another, do what married couples do, that other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be confined to a wheelchair or a walker. I mean, but the only thing we can do is pray. That's the only thing we can do. We pray and we hope that, Lisa, gets the type of treatment that she needs and she's walking again. That's all we can hope.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
All of that bullshit, you don't even know what the fuck you talking about. This is what I'm talking about. That's why it's like I was slowly getting like, it's like I'm getting pissed and more annoyed. It's like you don't even got a date of the source, a date of it. You ain't got a website, a link, or none of that shit. So speaking,
he says he has a source, but he never displays any of his sources. Even though I don't believe in statistics, I believe in the eye test. His sources is looking at white folks, looking at particular white folks and going, we can go by their example. Why can't we go by their example? Why do we have to always go by Cardi B? Why do we have to always go by Wilson? I don't know his fault. Russell Wilson. Why can't we go by white folks' example?
speaking of which, I want to share the link that I had. This is just one of them. So this is from Edward J. Jennings, PA, attorney at law. He had an article on his page. Why do women initiate divorce more often than men? He said, while we vow to stay with our partner until death do us part, marriages do not always last forever. I don't know if you guys can see it clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says, in fact, studies show that 70% of divorces are initiated by women when accounting for just college-educated women. That figure jumps up to 90%. So, like I said, sometimes education makes a woman, depending on what type of femininity she had going into college, it can bring out more masculine traits than feminine traits because they have shorter patience. They're more in this masculine mode of doing and moving and shaking. So it's like that feminine part of them is like kind of, it hasn't been watered that much. So they kind of have less patience than just the average woman. So sometimes I feel like education brings the worst out of our sisters. That doesn't downplay education, but the fact that they can earn money, it kind of makes them look at men as optional. Like, have you guys experienced that? Have you met women that are educated that act a little more uppity than not? And I'm not gonna say all women are like that, but I see that in society. Are you guys familiar with that? Am I reaching? Is this something you're familiar with as well?
Been married twice, been divorced twice.
Absolutely. I had, man. Oh.
And once again, this is where I respectfully disagree. And I don't have to call him out of his name. I don't have to say slick shit and call him a rim brother or a coon or whatever he's trying to. He's far beyond coon. Far beyond that. He is far beyond a rim brother. Far beyond that. But what I'm saying, he's just a man with an opinion just like me, right? But I can come to him with respect and decency. Duh. But you know, I mean, you got you. I mean, Sharon, you know, he has his ways, but you know, that's why his ways getting cooked. But back to what the article was. I don't. The article itself. That's one man writing something in his belief, and he's putting it out there, front and center, for everybody to read. Maybe that was his experience. Maybe it's something that he can show. He can fact check. He can prove that it's 90%. Let me go back. Let me go back and let me hear it again. Let me go back and let me hear it again.
This is what I'm talking about. One of them. Okay.
Yeah.
It says, in fact, studies show that 70% of divorces are initiated by women when accounting for just college education.
70% of women initiate divorces? How many people are in this? How many women? The 70%. Anybody know how to do math? Anybody know how to do straight math? Because I suck at math. I'll just put it like this: 70% of people. That's like not even half of the population. 70%. Let's just say we have about 6 million. It's a little bit more like 7 million, 8 million black women on this planet. If you include, but if you are including everybody from overseas, it's more than that. But we'll just account here for African Americans in this country. So here in the United States, you have over 8 million to, I would say, 5 or 6 million black men in this country. So with that and 70%, I would believe that's not a small number, but not a very large number either. So that would be 70% out of 8 million.
Educated women, that figure jumps up to 90%.
That's why are there so many women wanting to end marriages? This is an article. This is an article with one person's belief, not necessarily it being the case. Not necessarily being the case, because you're looking at is he looking at a online standpoint, or is he looking at it in a reality standpoint? Because this online shit, I don't even take serious. I don't take serious at all. This is a hobby for me. I mean, if we can get to a point where we can laugh, joke, and play around and all that other type of shit, that's fun. But all this gender war type shit, I don't believe in none of that. None of this even come close to my mind. So, but this article, I mean, he has every right to his opinion, but let's fact check this. Let's fact check this. Let's look at the facts. But the main reason, I'll just read it without using the arrow. The main reason is that while women, we're talking about white women, black women, Asian women. What are we talking about here? The reason why that while women have a lot at risk after a divorce, such as less money and fewer assets, they tend to be happier. That's not the case. That is not the case at all. Many women feel a great degree in satisfied. Wait, let me start over. Many women feel a great degree of satisfaction after divorce. Many women feel a great degree of satisfaction after divorce. Do you really think, and this is just a question, do you really think that women just divorce on a high clip? And if they do divorce on a high clip, then are they happier? Or do they just want somebody better than the person that they had before? Why are we not answering those questions? We're not including the fact that some people are miserable. Some people, are in an abusive relationship. We don't count those factors. We don't never count those factors. We don't want to count those factors. It's the same thing as saying, well, a woman is being very mean and doesn't give up sex, and we're doesn't want to give up any type of sex towards me, or she cheated on me, and we can say that all day long, but those statistics are never out. So why are all these men constantly complaining and nigga-splaining this stuff in articles? Can we see proof of this? You're saying that it jumps up to 90%. That's absurd to me, in my opinion. Now notice, if Izzo was here, I would not go at him like a moron would. So I would not go at him like that. I would just start asking questions. We can have a conversation or debate without shouting at each other. Hell, I'm learning that. Okay. Many women feel that the great degree of satisfaction after divorce. This is often due to mismatches. Women marry for one reason and end up getting something else. Here are several reasons why women are likely to initiate divorce, or likely to initiate divorce. Historically, men were the primary wage winners. This comes from, now when I read this particular article, you know what I'm thinking? Manosphere talk. Because I don't hear any normal man complain about this. Here it is. Fiancés. Historically, men are the primary wage earners. Women desire these rich, resourceful men, particularly Manosphere talk. We're getting their stuff from Kevin Samuels. Society has changed dramatically since then. How nowadays women are earning money at a high rate. In some cases, they are the breadwinners, out-earning their husbands. This, and I'm trying to see what this is this is an issue for women desiring a partner who is wealthy and is more successful than they are. Being the head winner is also trending a leadership. This satisfaction for married women who earn more than their husbands in their, I can't even see that, in a higher statute. That's just some bum that wrote that article, that heard some shit from other people, who are recycling this talking points. There's just recycling. It's just wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. In my opinion, it's just a wash, rinse, repeat the shit.
So, like I said, sometimes education makes a woman, depending on what type of femininity she had going into college, it can bring out more masculine traits than feminine traits, because they have shorter patience. They're more in this masculine mode of doing and moving and shaking. So it's like that feminine part of them is like kind of, it hasn't been watered that much. So they kind of have less patience than just the average woman. So sometimes I feel like education brings the worst out of our sisters. That doesn't downplay education, but the fact that they can earn money, it kind of makes them look at men as optional. Like, have you guys experienced that? Have you met women that are educated that act a little more uppity than not? And I'm not gonna say all women are like that.
So my firstborn son started to, show his maleness, as he's like 4 and 5 years old. And he was being very disobedient and she couldn't handle him. So she calls me up frustrated. You gotta take him. You gotta do something, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you asked for this. Why are you upset? Why are you mad? You asked for this. You wanted to have him all this often. I wanted to have 50. Now you understand? And yeah, so sorry, and this, that, and the other. And so yeah,
Exactly.
She never questioned me again. Now with my second ex-wife, ooh, that's a story.
And they both was educated.
Now comparatively, just to give the quick down and dirty, right? My first wife, she only had 1 year of college when we got married. We stayed together 12 years and married 12 years. And during that course, she was able to get more college under her, not to a full degree, but to where she was really proficient in and being able to move up in her job at Comcast. Got to a management level. And from there, she was great. She felt great. But it was at that point where she was like, you know what? Let me get this divorce going. So I'm like, are you serious? After all, now here's the thing. When we first got married, I went to boot camp 4 days after the wedding. So she went with me for almost my entire military, time in the military.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yo, we got history. What's wrong with you? What's the deal? Oh, well, I feel I could do better in this. Better? Okay. You're going to see what's out there. This woman never got into another relationship again. And she was upset.
That education be fooling them. That income be fooling them. They be feeling like, well, I could find another one. It's like, what they don't realize is masculine responsibility doesn't make you a man. Just because you can earn the money, you can be in corporate America, you can rub shoulders with all the CEOs, that doesn't make you a man. You still living on borrowed time. It's still a different dynamic from being a woman. And they just do not understand that sometimes till it's too late. Shout out to the women who do get it. We're not generalizing. There are always exceptions to the rule. It's not every woman. It's oftentimes a lot of women, and what's projected and portrayed to us through media, through social media. So sometimes the good ones are just not loud enough. These crazy ones are the loudest. But we got to call a spade a spade.
I have to admit, you got the crazy ones out there. They can't even keep their mouth shut for shit. I have to admit that.
Let's get back to this.
Uppercut while he's trying to block with that Philly shell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They feel like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just be like, the universe know my heart, God know my heart. Hopefully he put on these people's heart to bless me. But it's like, sometimes you got to ask. And I'm asking that. Like, show me some love, help me out. It ain't no team over here. It's just me. I'm in uptown. It ain't cheap. I'm by myself. I got a daughter. Show me some love. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to make some better content, and y'all help me out. Shout out to
and that's another thing. In all seriousness, when Sharon said that little yappity bullshit about no one visits his channel, there are people who are visiting his channel now. There are people who will visit. His name is Philosophical. Philosophical. He's I would say strict but fair. Strict but fair. No issues with him at all. He's the one that gave me the clip of where Anton said, what he said, the disrespectful shit about Malcolm X. He's the one that gave me that. Have I spoke to the brother before? Not as of yet. But I know I'm close to getting to having that conversation with him. And I'm not gonna again call him out, call him this, call him that, call him a rim brother, or anything like that. Call him MF, and you know, what do I got to disrespect him for? For what? For what? I mean, dude's solid in my book. I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, with this, Sharon was like, you know, people don't visit your channel, and you just, you know, no one knows who you are, and all you doing is arguing with me. No one was arguing with you. The problem is with him, Sharon, is that he wants people like Philosophical to agree with him. That's why he ends up arguing with Izzy fans. And even though I'm not too big of an Izzy fan my damn self, because he disrespects Umar a lot, which it's no thing. It's no biggie. Umar's a big boy. He can take care of himself. He's doing some shit that Izzy's not even doing. So I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried, not one fucking bit about it. But my point is, when it comes to this, when it comes to Philosophical is that type of dude that don't take shit from nobody, but doesn't want an argument. He just wants to have the conversation so we can all be better. At some point, we should all be better psychologically. And it's like I said, he doesn't dwell over to the manosphere of the red pill. I don't even know why they call him a red brother like that. I really don't know why. But again, he has a good channel. He has membership. He has memberships. It's like, what are you talking about, Sharon? And he gets super chats just like I do. But what are we talking about? I mean, the people mostly the people that you proclaim, you know, I take care of black women. You don't do nothing. I take care of black women, and I show them the way. Just like I tell the men, and I tell the men to get some testosterone shots, and they need to lose weight. And I show my credentials all the time. I show my kids, and why do I have to show my kids for some nut job online to snapshot my daughter? Do you know I will tear this whole? Never mind. It's just certain things you just don't do. You don't do everything, and you don't repeat everything what people say. Have your own freaking mind. You don't put your kids out like that. If you want to put your kids out there like that, that's your business. That's your business. Don't get mad at nobody. Don't get mad at nobody when they snapshot your kids, snapshot your wife, and they do some horrendous shit online, which they usually do all the time. Like, what? Show your kids, show your house, show this, show that. I ain't showing shit. Whatever you see before you is what you see before you, virtual or not.
Black intellectual, the $5 super chat. He said, "I ain't see the debate, but I'm still here, team." Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to my brother in the building. Shout out to Shannon Duncan, man, real one.
20 minutes. Gloves off. Let's be nice. It's time to
I mean, I don't. I'm still trying to be nice.
He has no proof of what he's talking about. Like I just said, 30% educated women, their divorce rate is much lower than women without education. Initiating divorce has nothing to do with this conversation.
Didn't I cite 2 of my sources?
Once again, I show and prove that this man has no idea what he's talking about.
Didn't I cite 2 of my sources, y'all?
Yeah.
He said he didn't have any. It's like he just be talking. But the thing about cats like, and I'm gonna shut up soon. The thing,
Izza asked Sharon for a source. He said he didn't have it. Izza gave him a source, and he debunked it. So it is what it is.
Thing about cats like him is it's like it just says a lot about the audience. It's like y'all don't see him lying. Y'all don't see him just lying in front of y'all. Like y'all hate me so much. Y'all hate men that are objective that bad to the point you just accept lies right in front of you. That shit is crazy, bro. It's like I literally gave him 2 sources. He didn't even cite his source. He talking about I don't have proof. I said, what date is the was? I don't know. That's crazy. Go ahead, bro.
That's what he said.
That right there. When you asked him that, I was like, it's over. It's over. It's over.
He thought he was gonna out joke me or something. I don't know what was his like strategy for victory. I don't know. I guess he just thought the crowd was gonna be on his side or whatever. But I heard he say he got jumped and it was I knew he was going to probably say it wasn't fair, it was biased, whatever. But let's get into it.
His eyes is big enough, but he can't see for some reason. I have no idea why. An educated woman, divorce rate is much lower than a woman without education. Initiation of divorce has nothing to do with what we are talking about.
Just to prove that you're a fucking idiot, I just gave you a date of the actual survey. 2 of them, you haven't given us a date. So that's how shows how fucking stupid you are. For 2, if women are initiating a divorce, when we're in a realm where we're talking about how we're disappointing each other on a mental level, on an emotional level, on a level where we're not dedicated, that's proving that the educated woman is more likely to do something that's beneficial.
Only when she's with a dumb ass, buggy-eyed motherfucker.
See,
How dumb you are.
Don't interrupt. This is when the shadow realm got activated in me, because I was trying to be cool. I called him dumb, but it's because he kept talking about me and saying all this slick stuff. And this is when I started to get like agitated, because it's like, okay, this is where he really wanted to go. He wanted to talk about how I look and all that. Like I think when you talking about how a man look, when you initiate, that's like what that got to do with what we talking about. Why you focus on how my eyes look? Like, what's this all about? So this is when I was starting to like really like get.
And it's true. And it's true. When you want a shit show, you're gonna get a shit show from him. You ain't trying to be solution based. It's a good thing you changed that, because I would have told you need to change this shit from solution based to shit show, because that's all it is. It's a shit. You want a shit show from everybody, and the fact that you took the time to show your ass and express how you feel about black people, even though you have black people on your channel, is one of the reasons why your coon ass will never level up to any of importance at all. You're not important to anyone, dude, except for the people in your inner circle, which is very small.
Very upset. I was just trying to hold it, but he kept triggering me. So this is when I was like, all right, I'm about to really tell you about yourself. And I don't like being like this, but shit, I will trigger. I'll let you talk. Look, don't. Why you over talking me? Why you over talking? I see you go home. Let me talk. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. He's triggered. He's triggered. He's triggered. He's triggered. He's not letting me talk. He's not letting me talk. He's triggered. So that's a part of the game.
I'm not the moderator right there, but I'll make sure. One second. I'll make sure.
No rules over here. It's a shower round. What are we talking about here?
You heard him, right? Let me finish. Yeah. He said, "Ain't no rules over here." It's a shadow. He thought he had me. He like, oh, he don't want to go there. He just want to be super duper smart. So I'm like, oh, okay, think it's sweet. He like, oh, it's no rules, nigga. It's a shadow round. So let's go.
That's what that meant. No rules.
You know you about to get cooked. He's a hoe. He's a hoe. We see it. He's a hoe.
I want the first 5 minutes people ever turn at, so it is not the 20-minute screaming match. Okay, it's good for the people to actually listen. Both of y'all are content creators, So let's please give a turn to the person to respond.
I don't know why Fatty did this. I mean, Fatty should just let them go at it. Just 5 minutes or just straight them interrupting each other because it does nothing. I mean, you're not gonna hear anything because they're gonna be in a shouting match. I mean, they're gonna interrupt each other. So it's like in a fist. It's like in a fist fight. If they were actually fist fighting each other, am I gonna break that up? Not likely. I'm just gonna let two men, two grown ass adults, hang with it. Now, if there are knives involved, if there's guns involved, I'm out the way. But I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there just in case something goes astray. Somebody wants to interfere in the shit. But I'm gonna let two grown ass men fight for 5 minutes, and then we'll break it up. Count to 10, count all the way to 10, and let's get back to normal, right? That's what mainly the Shadow Realm is. The Shadow Realm is basically anything goes, no rules.
The person next. And and shout out to the 100 people watching the show. I appreciate y'all. Please like the video, whatever you're watching. This clock is on. Go, Mr. Illa. Mr. Sharon Bracy has a chance to reply afterwards.
Like I said, this soft ass, weird ass, bitch ass nigga just proved that he don't understand statistics. Like I was saying before he interrupted the cook, the dumbass. The fact that 90% of educated women are initiating divorce is showing a disconnect in pathology because it's for better or for worse. We're online talking about how we can be better mates, how we can be more dedicated to each other. That proves that the educated woman oftentimes, not all the times, is more focused on her bottom line for personal self-fulfillment than the family. That totally contradicts your fucking data. And the fact that you just recently changed the title of your show proves that you're just leaning in what the fuck you are, a bitch ass pandering nigga who don't have no fucking solutions. That's why the name of your show has changed to the Wild Open Morning Wake Up Show, because you don't have no fucking solutions, because you don't stand for what the fuck you talking about. You're not with a black. Your best self was with a black woman. You left them to be single mothers. The worst of you was to black women, and the best of you was to a woman of another fucking race. So all this goofy, dumb shit you kicking to black men, you don't fucking live it. You was not a good father. I ain't gonna talk about your father, but whatever you wasn't good enough to be the black woman. So you don't have the right to tell any fucking black man how to deal with her pathology, her emotions, anything.
At that point, I don't give a fuck what I talk about. all rules. Ain't no rules in war. Ain't no rules. None.
Thing about her because you failed at doing it, you bitch ass, weird ass nigga. And I can never want to ever be in you in my fucking life. Why the fuck would I want the results of Sharon Brace?
Wow. I hear that numerous.
My computer tripping. I'm gonna refresh it. My computer is tripping. But yeah, he just sent me somewhere else, man. It's like I'm tired of these dudes be talking crazy. Like, bro, you are not that. Who do you think you are? I kept trying to keep it on a conversation level, and you want to take it to the shadow realm, and it's like you want to go there. It's like, to me, it's like he challenged me to a fight or something.
I hear Clinton Avenue.
Oh, we got a troll in it. We got a troll in the building.
I hear Clinton Avenue in there.
Hey, listen, welcome. We got a Sharon, a Bracyite. Oh, we real brothers. I'm sorry. Oh, you see your man. You see your hero get his ass whooped yesterday. I know y'all mad, but I'm saying real people know what I'm about. Real people know what I'm about. My man Marcus Evans said you don't have to burn his soul like that. Nah, I had to, man. I had to give him that ether, bro.
It had to be. Here's the thing. At some point, people are going to get tired, right? And it's the quiet ones you have to look after. But people are going to get tired. They're going to get frustrated, and they're going to start throwing jabs at each other. You said those other guys were very quiet. Oh, because they're judges. They're judges on the panel. They're not supposed to interfere. You can ask questions, that are relatable to the question at hand, but you can't suggest anything that's against the rules. So that they're just there, just just analyzing, and yeah, they're just to analyze. They're not there to do anything else.
I had to give him that ether, man. Y'all think I went too hard on them? I went too hard on them.
Nah.
No. You did what you needed to.
You did exactly what you were supposed to do, because he was throwing the insults first, and you kept letting them. You just said, you know what, I'm not even here for that, but he just kept throwing shots, and you just kept taking them, and it's like, yo, at some point, I gotta put you in your place now.
Live at, nigga. Where the fuck at? Brownsville, East New York, with you MOP, you funny looking Bill Cosby, put in pop looking fuck. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Nobody listen to what you got to say. You don't even feel or nothing about you say, man, nigga. Fuck wrong with you?
This shit was pure
comedy.
comedy.
What it is, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. You can never be in you can never have access I got, nigga.
You are
get back to the topic so I can cook your funny looking ass. You Alvin and you back up there. You Harlem boys quiet.
Ben Affleck.
Your results. You don't.
Where's your results? You on live 10 hours a day.
Now, this is what really pissed. This is what also annoyed me. What's results in this space? Like, what would be justified as considered results of something in the realm of content, according to the supporters? We know what we think as creators, but I'm talking to supporters now. As supporters of these channels, what would y'all define as results for you to take advice from somebody like myself or Sharon or anybody in the space? What would you guys consider results?
A successful relationship.
Okay, that's respectable. What about you, Tay?
Yeah, I say the same thing. A successful relationship. I say the same thing.
So do you think if somebody is single, because I'm single, I don't have a girlfriend.
Yes, it's not just a successful relationship. It could be that, or it could be a successful career. That you can literally take care of yourself. Take care of thyself. That's what it means to take care of yourself. Women come a dime a dozen, just like men do. But when it comes to your health, your well-being, your finances, and everything, you must learn to take care of yourself. So if you're a successful person and you got a job and you can take care of yourself financially, there it is. That's success. I mean, you could get a job today and get fired tomorrow. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can be an owner you can be an owner of something, and your project can get shut down due to somebody, mysteriously calling it in, calling the Channel 6 News saying that you molest them, you treated them bad, and it could be a whole bunch of shit. So success comes with yourself first, and then if you're in a healthy relationship and you get married and have children, that's success as well.
But I definitely have an opinion on relationships and just life in general. Do you think you have to have a relationship to have an opinion on a relationship, or do you think it's a part of your argument? Like, based on the content that you see me make, do you think it's justified, the things I say, as opposed to somebody who's telling you exactly what black men doing, like what Sharon does? He's like basically puts it all on the men. Like, do you think my results justify my content?
I think, as if we're going to say results, and the results of you being single, it basically is telling me that you're not falling into the trap that everybody else falls into. As far as what the lure is of, oh, well, you could get cat and all this other stuff. Personal fear of mine. Whenever
I would like y'all to pull up, drop it. Lucky, if you want to pull up, you can. You ain't got a camera up.
Ain't got nothing for me.
He is saying, he is just talking.
I ain't talking. People see what
this is where I jumped in.
Ain't no woman in here. Ain't no woman in here. I'm not king of my castle, nigga. You think I can't get a woman to come and look at the skyline with me? Are you dumb, you stupid fuck? Nigga, I'm 6'4", nigga. It's all good over here, baby. Fuck is wrong with you, nigga? I got my own everything, nigga. Fuck is wrong with you, boy? You don't know the fuck you talking to. You don't.
And of course, he's gonna pull out the I have a wife and I show my kids with the two different baby. And this is where I can fuck him up. I can fuck Sharon Bracey up with. You've been through 1, 2, 3 females. You finally married one who is non-African American, and I'm not a baby father. I'm not a single father. I am a father of 2 through my first marriage. Been married for 15 years. Been with my significant other for 26, going on 27 years. Can you say the same thing? Can you say, my nigga, that you were successful one time and one time only? Can you say that you could not or could not substantiate could substantiate a relationship with your first baby mother and marry that woman? Can you say that? No, you can't. So that's a problem there. And you have the nerve to go at a guy who his initial reaction is to say, yo, let's just have the conversation. The hell is wrong with you?
You don't live in the best area in your city. You live in Brownsville, East New York. You and your weird ass cousin on Rat Patrol with the fucking Pooh Shiesty and the Faha. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Topic, nigga. You're not on my level, my nigga. Stay in your lane. Dating niggas, women that look like fucking men. You Bob Backlund dating fuck. Shut the fuck up.
Man. Oh man. That was crazy.
Backlund?
Look.
Bob Backlund?
I didn't want to do it to that boy. And I don't like talking about height and all that, but it's like these dudes be acting like
I don't do that.
You don't have the experience. It's like some of us really have experience with women, bro. And the shit you saying not real because you don't have the experiences that we had. You didn't have certain perks people just got that they can't help. And I just happen to be a tall guy. I happen to have a decent little gig. I have a nice place to stay. There's certain perks that come with that. You know what I mean? I know how to speak. I know how to dress.
As long as you got a roof over your head, you got clothes on your back, you got a little money in your pocket, you got a car that can take you from A to B. I don't give a fuck where you come from, nigga. It is what it is. You establish yourself real well, and when you get that shorty, that it's like that's a bonus. That's a bonus to you, and you can. I mean, y'all can talk it out however you. I don't get into people's personal business unless that's freaking celebrity, which they let everybody into their business, everybody into their neighborhood, everybody into their backyard. But when it comes to locals, I don't care what you do. If it works for you, it works for you. If you get married to that woman, congratulations. Like I told Jay Prince, I said congratulations on marrying Flora. Congratulations. Now, what I would if I were to give him advice, which I wouldn't, I would definitely, because we're not on good. I need a break from him. I just need a break. But if I were to give him advice, I would say I would take a break from this here and concentrate, get on that honeymoon with your wife, with your new bride. Let her feel something that you actually give a shit. Because this is a short, as far as I'm concerned, this might be short term, not long term. If he can pass 10 years, I will be shocked. Hell, I might even give him a Christmas present. I might give Jay Prince a Christmas present if he can last 10 years with Flora. If I'm here that long. But I don't know.
You know, I'm very articulate. It's like, so I meet women, bro. That's not the problem. It's not. That's not something that's foreign from me. So when I'm speaking from an experience of being active, not passive. So it's like, why are you talking crazy to people that you don't have the same ability that they have? Like, why would you think I'm lying? Why do you think because it's not a woman walking around here that I don't have access to that? And what does any of these points got to do with the debate? Like
nothing.
Nothing. I didn't even want to do it to this dude.
Well, you know, it's like I said. Basically, you know, Sharon acts like a piece of shit from time to time. I am going to go over I'm going to go over the ladies' podcast sometime tonight. I believe it's called. Let me go through this again. She has 400 subscribers now. Cool. Elevation Era Media. I have to check these guys out because I was on there a couple of times and there's some pretty cool people. You know, I got into it with one of the cats, but you know, that was short lived. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and just call this a wrap for right now. And I might be back. Plus, people on the panel, if you want to be on the panel, if you're interested, go ahead and step up to the plate. And I will see y'all around 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Western time. And we're just going to have fun. People want to come on the panel and have a conversation, they can. It's all fun. It's all love. It's all fun over here. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. And like I said, I want to apologize for that whole chaotic truth shit. I thought we were going to actually see the actual freaking video where he actually debated this man, Tariq Nasheed. We didn't see none of that shit. It was just all a clear. It was all just a clear misfire, misunderstanding. It's like we want to see you actually have a debate. You didn't have a debate. You didn't have no goddamn debate. But either way, that's my fault. I don't even want to review this nigga's content ever again. Because we all know it's the same shit. Show us this, show us that, show us this, show us that. Show people in Nigeria, mother. All right. Show us your lady. And did you tell your lady, did you tell your wife that Grace's pussy was the greatest thing since sliced bread? You remember you saying that, right? Over on Izzy's, or not on Izzy's live. I think it was on whoever live it was, you did say it. Grace is the greatest white woman on the face of this planet. Nigga, please. Anyway, I'll see y'all tonight. Bye.